Greetings, salutations, and other big words. My name's Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios, weekly wing it number 51 here on Rumble and YouTube. And starting it off this week, first up, we got Billy Bobsack. What's happening?
First.
Quack, 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 cabal, cabal, cabal.
All right. And Trippy Soul, the IronAge poet.
I'm a poet, and and I got some information tonight that might blow your mind.
Okay.
I've tried to rhyme mind and might, but that didn't work.
Sounds good. And Maji Chan. Maji,
Hello.
how you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Yes, you are.
Well, that's a pretty good start.
Yep.
All right.
compared to the last couple of Mondays, yeah, that's a good start.
And up next, first time on the channel, welcome, Bambo. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right. And for those who were here a couple weeks ago when Boncher was telling us about all the uplifts, I believe you're the one who was responsible for all that research, right?
Well, just for the cat morphs.
Well,
so
those are
far.
the most important ones.
Well, exactly. If I'm going to play one of them, absolutely.
And up next, Stormcrow.
Stormcrow, did you just do intro music for yourself?
No, it did not.
It just worked out that way.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, you know what? First time intro music for the Wrangler Show. How about that? Let's go.
And then we got MD Boncher. How are you, man?
I'm keeping up appearances best I can. Doing better than I was last week this time.
Yeah, sound a lot better.
Excellent. And was it your book is is it out yet, or is that still in pre-order?
No, it's out. Friday I went and put the entire ebook collection on sale for Tales from the Dream Nebula. So $1.99 for each one if you want to get Dreams Within Dreams, Lucid Reality, and of course the freshly launched The Waking Nightmares. They're all up and ready to roll. And for those that want the old school, I want it in my hand. We got them.
Sick.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me blow that screen up. There you go.
And note that these are only on sale for this week only.
I might be tempted to go as far as the weekend, but we'll see.
Either way, we will be pulling that webpage up before the night's over. And if you like history, you're going to love this guy. Read out.
I'm a historian. Doctor Who is dead. Long live Freerun.
Hold on, what happened to
Oh,
him
yeah.
in District 13?
Hell yeah.
Hold on. Billy Bob, what'd you say you got drowned out?
So what happened to you representing District 13?
That's for the stream. Well, not this stream. That's for the other, the video. Look, I'm in a glass case of emotions right now, and I've been for the 48 plus hours.
By the way,
there's
you
gonna
did
be
that, but you didn't have our names pulled up so no one can see it.
Oh well. Anyways,
Rita, hold on. Rita. You're telling me you did not appreciate the diversity of Black Isaac Newton and Doctor Who putting his stick on another black man? You didn't appreciate that?
Hey, guilty.
Are we going to spin off that quick tonight?
Oh, I believe Mayday is in order.
Yeah. Well, from there, that's a perfect segue to we're going to pretend that didn't happen and read the chat. King,
well, how about this?
Tonight?
We'll have our Lord of the Rings discussion and end on our rant because I saw bits and pieces of that, and I'm so sorry.
Lord of the Wangs, Ratana da Kang.
I am so glad I gave up on that show so long ago. I am so sad for those that didn't jump off the train wreck before.
Anyway, King Bob stopped in a little bit ago. Said, "Love you guys. Have a great show." He's not going to be able to stick around tonight.
Oh.
Dude,
Oh,
Orson's Child says,
Oh, yeah.
evening. Got sent here by Gino. Hey, thanks, Gino, and welcome, Orson's Child. Am I saying that correctly? Is it Orson's? Let me know, please. Naji's down there double dipping around. Says hi, and woo woo.
of course she does.
Guilty Gearhead. He says, good evening, everyone. And Andrew Campbell. Hello, everyone.
Gang's all here.
I am a broke. I wish I could buy more books. Don't we all? Actually, I wish I could get more of them read. That list is getting
Yeah, I
bigger.
had to choose between getting Alpha Core or trying to get a signed copy of Yira. I know how you feel. I'm gonna try. I probably won't. It'll probably all be sold out in the first 20 minutes if the website doesn't crash. But I'm gonna try.
Well, see,
Well,
I don't have to worry about that because I'm poor and I can't afford it.
Yeah,
it's easy.
I'm at that point where I'm right there right now too, Readout, because I extended myself to get some projects going, and so now it's like, what do I read? Hey, Otter's got a short I'm gonna read.
gentlemen, and ladies, that's it. The problem with me is very simple. I have too many books, but no bookshelf. So I'm basically a hoarder of books.
You got a pile going on.
Be
too?
like Royce, get a pile.
I gotta
Yeah.
build an actual
Oh,
shelf
hell,
over
the
here. I just got
pile.
this ledge.
That's the
Come on
most
now,
piles.
be Iron Age compliant.
Can't
Get yourself a
get rid of
book
them either.
pile.
Yep. Got
I
mine.
can't get rid of my books,
The
man.
Ghostbusters
They
book pile.
hurt. Yeah. And I do not get rid of books. I buy one book and it stays with me forever. You know?
Campbell needs
I
beta
still have
readers,
my-
guys. Sorry,
And
Crow.
speaking of beta readers, wait a second. Billy,
Oh,
what?
is he on?
What? Hold on.
Ooh.
What is?
That's
Here's
creepy.
Jenny.
It's the first female to ever have a woman, you know?
Here's Karen. No.
He's the first female to ever fly through a door, apparently.
I don't know who that is.
Well, I can honestly say I am the first female to show a beaver on Reese's stream.
I can't believe you didn't know what that
Oh man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
when
I
first
did
brought it
not
up,
know.
you were-
Okay,
I thought you were in on it.
halfway
And just
through, I'm
remember-
like, this
But
must
you're
be
gonna
good.
use that for comic
No.
fodder for a long time, aren't you?
Heck
That's a
yeah,
good bit.
Decepticon chick. She is. Yeah, and don't forget how you describe said beaver on channel.
I
Don't
know.
think you're getting
Well,
away.
Chan
halfway
wave.
So
through, I
squishy.
realized after halfway through, I'm like, this must be something kind of dirty because they wouldn't be acting like this if we were still talking to people.
I love the fact you're so innocent on the whole,
And it's-
or at least playing it.
Not anymore.
it made it worse.
Yeah,
Read
I
out,
think
put
I'm
it
going to
into
have to
words.
ask you, MD, what that means after the show.
Yes, definitely later, my darling.
Yeah, he could explain it apparently.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Andrew Campbell
Yeah.
says I need beta readers, and if anyone's looking for, speaking of beta readers, a good beta reader, or even better yet, someone who's really stretching into developmental editing, check out Gino, aka
I'll be right
King
back,
Bob.
somebody's at my
He can
door.
help you out with that stuff. So he's one to if you need to hire a
He's been
developmental
holding out
editor,
on me.
he's the guy to go to.
He's been
He helped
holding
me
out
a
on me.
He helped me out big time. Worth every cent.
Man, the Eeyore of the Iron Age has been holding out on us.
Yeah. He works.
Is King
All
King Bob voiced by Peter Cullen?
Jim
Yep.
Cummings. Oh no, that's
Peter
that was
Cullen was the original Eeyore, I believe, right?
Jim. You know who else has a name that rhymes with Cummings? These people know him well, and you're gonna see him tonight on the stream.
Well, it
Ain't that
doesn't
right, Wrangler?
doesn't exactly rhyme, but I see what you're getting at. Orson Child says, "I'll read your stuff." Says, "I'm here to patron people when I can. When I can't, I'll use word of mouth."
Perfect.
Yeah, and then you can
Alpha
use your
word.
mouth. You can use your mouth to make people buy your book. You gotta work with your mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I learned to make money back when I was 4 years old. Use my mouth.
Well, that doesn't
Okay.
sound bad out of context. No.
It's
Andrew
not
Campbell
even
says, "Do you
right.
guys just hit people up on the Gilded?" Yeah, for the most part, yeah. That's where
Yeah.
we do all our networking.
That's a central hub, but we do branch out.
yeah.
Yeah.
There- I think some of us talk to each other on what was that thing called? The X Twitter?
Andrew, there's
Bullet
also
Waves.
a help. I think a
Mines?
help wanted channel
I'm
also
on
in the
Mines.
guild.
There is on the Gilded. Help wanted on Gilded.
MD, you're on Mines? I gotta
Yeah,
find
I'm
you
on
on there.
Mines. I'm on Mines. I have a outpost on the face of book. That all that I use that for is to talk to people that won't communicate any other way, aka certain cons, and to repost stuff that I do for my blog. That's about it that I do on Facebook. But yeah, Mines I do a lot more with. Otherwise, I do have a Discord channel as well, but I don't keep up with it as much yet. And I do have a YouTube channel that is in the process of getting revamped. So we have the social thingies, but I will not deal with anything that begins with the root word twit.
Well, it's just X now apparently, but
No,
It's Twix.
I understand you.
I just call it my X Twitter.
She's my ex.
So you want to know the beautiful thing about living where I live? Everything is centered around the base, right?
And here I thought it was going to be the sailors.
No. That's the rumors kind of question that.
She don't
there's
need
some-
no sailor. She's got two
Anyway.
babies at home.
Means I'm the first one to get my trash picked up in the morning and the last one to get my mail because I'm so close to the friggin' base. I have a certain book delivered by a certain somebody on the stream.
Ooh.
I got your first book. Well, the one I cannot pronounce this one to save my life, dude.
Ah,
You know, I want to see if I
Akinawaga
can get
Saga.
this. I can't get this.
Akinawaga Saga.
Akinawasi Saga.
Akinawazi Saga, you got it.
That's
The name
Goes
that
off the
breaks
tongue.
the tongue.
a name.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
sure.
That's a name.
And I still maintain that in 20 years, people recognize it as much as they do Shannara. Or is it Shannara?
Right?
Don't
Shalar.
tell him I have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, I was checking out Ocean Child's avatar down here, and that's a
It
cool
looks very
looking.
Final Fantasy.
That's neat looking. You know, do you recognize the character then, or?
No, it just looks like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. See, Andrew says I've just rejoined the Gilded. Haven't had much time to get into it properly yet.
Woo,
It's the
welcome
best
back.
place to network.
Welcome back. Take some time. Don't lurk.
She's cooking. What are we having?
Hmm.
Well, the bar is being set by Bambo tonight, so you'll have to ask what she made.
Oh, I already ate. I had chicken.
Oh,
Well, since she's not here,
I had
oh, shit, she's
curried
back.
lentil bean soup.
How was it?
Nice.
MD's already on his second bowl.
There you go.
And last, if I want to live, it's good.
All right.
I think it'll be even better tomorrow after it's set for a while.
Yeah, guilty. That's exactly what I use my mouth for. Yeah, sure. Got it. Downplay my trauma.
Anyway, before we get too deep into any discussions, Trippy, you had something you wanted to go over.
Yeah, should we just move on to the word of the week? Weekly winging it word of the week. Slow it down in there. Huh?
Trippy actually came prepared, guys. He broke
know.
the wing it.
Look at that.
Wow! Oh my god!
Well, we need like a.
I feel like I never do anything
We need
here.
some kind of segment transition.
Betrayed.
Damn,
Yeah.
love, good times. Come on.
Well, as being the
It's a
poet and
celebration.
into wordplay, that I figured I should know words and where they come from and definitions of them. And we say the word okay all the time, right? You know what okay stands for, don't you? All correct. Yes, that is all correct, apparently, even though it's misspelled. So this all started back in the early 1830s, maybe late 1830s. The first publication was in March 23rd, 1839, but Bostonians, like young Bostonians, were using slangs where they purposely misspelled abbreviations and just for fun. Think of we use the word like shill, like we create slang all the time. They call style drip these days. Kids in them with their words. So
Cringe.
they had
drip.
they had KC for enough said, NY for no use, and OW for all right, and OK for all correct. The fad caught on, and a lot of like papers started publishing it, and over the few years, it caught on by a president, Martin Van Buren. He was the 8th president from Kinderhook, New York. And in his 1840 re-election campaign, his supporters formed this OK Club, saying old Kinderhook was all correct. And you can see in this old public illustration here, there are 2 White House, 2 Kinderhook. Like they want to give the White House 2 Kinderhook, and they put OK in there. So that was their little slang for OK clubs, and that was just 1840, like a year after this vernacular became pretty well used. And then the really thing that established it as permanent use was the telegraph. In 1844, like 5 years after the birth of the slang, its short form was perfect for receiving messages instead of saying yes or message received in a telegraph that's obviously too long. But OK, 2 letters, it's freaking perfect. So by the time it was like 1865 in the manuals, it was noted in like protocol to use OK as a message received, or else the message was considered unsent. And furthermore, like the K visually kind of sticks out. I looked at some other stuff, and this isn't really not much about the origin of K, but if you look at words like craft, Kleenex, and breathing exercises.
Oh, that was your other
Oh, the other thing.
that was
the other
thing.
thing.
Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
Trey.
sorry. Sorry. That's great. But, words get lost over time. Eventually the word shill, like we shill things all the time. We know what that means. And that's obviously going to become vernacular for here on out and 20 years from now. Instead of saying, so what do you got to sell? It's like, what do you got to shill? Will just be common
Hey,
vernacular.
Kiko, man.
So that's your word of the week. Okay, and now you know it means all correct.
Okay. Then why do I keep spelling it OKAY?
Yeah, it evolves over time. I think the OKAY just looks a little more visually appealing.
Well, technically, jazz was a slang word back in the 1900s. It was almost as bad as the fornication under consent and king word for a while there. Now it's the name of a basketball team.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, look it up. Jazz is a 4-letter word.
Maybe I'll
I've
do that
also
for the
heard that
next
the
week.
shortening of words, shortening to things like that to save money is why we no longer have the U in words like color.
Yeah.
Because it was all based on how much it cost to print things and getting the message across for cheap.
Yep. How do you like that? Read out. You're not the only one that knows history. Nothing to say.
Well, since
Nothing.
Kahuna's
Up
not
his
here right
mind.
now,
I don't know
Kiko
if you heard the
says,
snap.
"Woo!"
Oh.
I have nothing else to add. That was pretty good. Pretty good. Only slight detail I can say, Martin Van Buren, the only president to not speak English as his native tongue. He actually grew up learning to speak German. His family were Germanic, German immigrants. He spoke English eventually, but that's the only cool little twist to him. And he did not win the 1840 election because, well, the country was in complete financial crisis after 1837, and that wasn't really going to work well for the incumbent. And William Henry Harrison was voted in his place. And William Henry Harrison lasted all of 3 weeks in the office before he died of pneumonia.
Oh, is he the one that
Best president ever.
He did like some 3-hour long-winded speech, and
Yes.
that's how he got sick?
Without a jacket in January in Washington on the coldest day.
The man that Van Buren lost to in his re-election, yeah.
Where was he from?
William Henry Harrison or Van Buren?
Van Buren was New York.
He was
pneumonia
New York.
guy.
Oh, pneumonia guy. Oh,
Tippecanoe and Tyler too.
I want to say he's from the Northwest Territory or something like that.
How is
I think it was. I think it was
Not
just
handle
after
the cold.
Kentucky.
I'm thinking something Northwest Territory. I'm gonna get
Makes
this
sense.
eventually. Probably Ohio. Yep. No, not Ohio. Virginia. He was actually born in Virginia, but he moved out and he did a lot of stuff with the Northwest Territory, which is now Ohio and Indiana. But he's from Virginia originally.
At least
Exotic Indiana.
At least the guy who died of pneumonia doesn't have Taft's record where they had to put a hole in the ceiling of the White House so they could put in a tub big enough to fit him.
I don't want to think
Is
about
that Taft or Garfield?
That was Taft.
No, I think it was Taft.
I think it was Taft.
No, that's Taft. No, not Garfield. Not Garfield. Garfield's only around for 6 months.
Yeah, because of the
most fascinating
the
assassin in American history, Charles Guiteau.
Fascinating.
Yeah, quotes around fascinating, but man, that
Yes.
guy was really messed up.
Oh yeah. Oh, he thought he was getting a full-on government job, and that's part of why Chester A. Arthur instituted the civil service reforms, because the spoil systems was causing stuff that was getting crazier and crazier. Watch the movie Lincoln and see how he secured the legislation. That's the kind of corruption that Chester A. Arthur knocked out. Unfortunately, now they figured out different ways to game the system.
Which is why I say the state of West Virginia is technically an illegal state.
But they'll make you fight them.
Well, it's the
Guilty Gearhead asks, is that really the origin of fornication under consent of the king? I don't know if that's truly the origin, but I've heard that my whole life. But
Like the Joker origin story, it's multiple choice. It may be.
I've heard a couple different versions of where Flagging the Bird came from, but my favorite is how a bunch of archers were captured during the war, and usually they sever the middle finger of an archer so he can't use the bow and arrow. But the war ended, so you released the prisoners, and they hadn't had their fingers cut off yet. So while they were put on a boat and pushed off to go back home, they all went to the railing and held up their middle fingers, like, we still have them.
Wasn't it the word fuck?
Inappropriate stuff there, Tim.
Wasn't the word fuck used in like the late 18th century? Like the first time we hear it?
It was used to keep the Scots and the Celts from breeding. Basically, it was their way of birth control of the islands.
I'm so confused. What?
That was the order. The whole order of fornication under consent of the king was given to the Welsh, the Scots, and the Irish in
Was
the
it called
British
prima
Isles.
nocta?
I'm trying to remember what
Different
it was
animal.
called. But yeah, it was the only way that they were granted marriage was to basically go sleep with a British noble before the wedding night.
Because they were trying to.
That would have been prima noctum.
Yeah, they were trying to get the British DNA throughout the Emerald Isle. So, or what was not Ireland? Oh, pretty much all of all the Celtic
Scotland,
region.
Ireland, Wales. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
anything
the whole
that wasn't-
Celtic region. They
anything
were
that wasn't
trying to
English.
pretty much make sure most of those kids were their own, so they had claim to the land.
So
Is that about right?
North.
Am I getting
If
it
you
right? I'm
have
probably mixing
one
something up.
island in your blood, you probably have them all in your blood somewhere.
See,
Don't
I
say
just
that.
thought-
Don't tell that to my grandpa. Even though his name is Gibson, his family was from Ireland. Gibson is a Scottish name. Don't tell him that, or I'm gonna get something thrown at me.
Tim Allen says, "Hail one and all, and may the mead ever be in your favor."
Hail Tim Allen.
I bet you creative Welshman could probably explain it better.
See, I just thought we were talking about the acronym being a representation of a lovely Van Halen album.
Didn't the British also like kind of force more British names on Irish last names as well?
Wouldn't surprise
I think
me.
they did. They anglicized a lot of the Irish names.
Yeah.
The Irish could discuss it whenever. Unfortunately, the Welsh seems to have capitulated. But on the other hand, the Welsh kept their land and their language, and they didn't get the Welsh language outlawed like Gaelic was.
Yeah, well, while the Celtic regions in Britain were all arguing with each other, we got the Lucky Charms.
Bambo, you know why they
Lucky the
capitulated,
Leprechaun
right?
is ours now. Haha.
You know why the Welsh capitulated, Bambo, right?
No, I haven't heard that one.
The Britain threatened to take away their sheep. That's why. I mean, weird, ain't it?
The Welsh history is actually fascinating. I really didn't know a lot about Wales until I started digging into it. Using their mythology as kind of a gate. I didn't know their mythology or anything, and I found out a lot of the British stories as we know really originated in Wales or in Cornwall, which is all that Brythonic Celtic region. They got a really rich history. It's kind of sad how quickly it got decimated.
Cernunnos is actually one of the characters in my book.
I think that area inspired the Silmarillion and a lot of J.R. Tolkien stuff.
Yep. I'd love to learn the language. I can't pronounce it, but
Here we go.
I've tried, but I've never been able to learn. But I've also have this really
Wrangler,
thick
can you
West
turn
Virginia
Bambo's
rang.
mic up a little?
I don't know. Let me see if I can. Do I have that kind of ability on here?
Yeah, you
Should.
can focus volume on somebody. Royce does it to me all the time because mine is overpowering on his channel.
But I'm not finding that option.
There. Let me see if I can find it. Nope, I can't edit mic settings.
Neither can I.
Sorry, I wasn't
Anyways.
sure if YouTube was hearing her.
Yeah, I thought I knocked the volume down on my headset, and then I started turning it up, and then someone else spoke. I'm like, whoa!
Well, I had it turned down because I was trying to get rid of that echo.
Oh yeah, that's
Now
right.
you
better?
sound great. You sound
Yeah.
great now.
And as long as I keep muted, there shouldn't be a problem.
Yep.
Yes, so I would love to learn to speak Welsh, but I have this West Virginia accent that kind of kills the ability to actually pronounce anything but.
Yeah, Southern drawl and Celtic brogue don't blend the best.
No,
Well, my
it's a
hardest-
subtle thing.
Well, my hardest part is when you read through, they'll say, well, this letter sounds like this, and they'll say, it's pronounced as A. I go, but West Virginians don't pronounce those letters the way everybody else in English language pronounces some of those letters. So I get made
Come
fun
up here
of my
to New England, we'll start dropping
ours.
ours.
Darling,
What's
I
that?
dare you to try to learn Mandarin. Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh. That I'm not
It's a
saying this
tonal
to be
language.
insulting, but the language is very harsh to my ears. Like,
Sir, it's
It's-
okay.
it's
The
a
language, it was made by a chicken with its head cut off and used its feet to make the letters. That's Mandarin.
Okay. So I hope we're not talking Welsh.
No, and also Chinese in general is a tonal language, which
Yeah,
actually you have to get the tone per. That's why they'll sound very close to being the same, because if they don't have the tones right, the word
it
is
changes the
mispronounced.
meaning. Yeah, like
Yep.
I was told that the volume with which you speak that word in relation to the volume in the rest of the sentence can actually change the definition of a word in some Chinese languages.
Oh
And
boy,
when I
so if
worked-
you're naturally high pitched like me, you're screwed.
Well, when I was working at a casino doing security, a group of us were at a table, and there was a lot of folks from China that were working there. And there was I'm sorry, I said it wrong, China. And they were sitting around a table playing. They're playing some kind of checker type game, but as they were going along, they were getting louder and louder and louder. And holy crap, these guys on a regular basis would just like blow out the whole cafeteria with their volume when they were on break, to the point where we were going and asking them to please keep it down.
Yeah,
And they would for a few minutes, but then they would get into the game again, and it was right back up there. We're like,
it's mahjong or either fantan, but mahjong is the number one gambling game in China, and actually a lot of East Asia there, and it has those thick ice cube like tiles. If you get the proper set, they have. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, because I've been wanting to learn how to actually play mahjong. One of my aunts does, and I'm like, oh, I'd really like to learn it. But they actually have tables that are freaky automated that people buy, where in your own home, you can get a table where this centerpiece pops out. You shove all the tiles in there, and then it closes up. It shuffles everything. It stacks everything in random, and then it will push the pieces out on the board, already arranged for you in front of you. I'm just like, this is the next level gambler addiction, or Pinochle and Bridge have nothing on this.
Oh,
but it's also a big gambling.
Be a huge aspect of their culture, though, because I mean, at when I worked there was constantly just groups of folks coming in, primarily from Flushing, New York, but they're all Chinese. And so years before they started doing the mask thing, I used to see these guys come in every winter, all of them wearing masks. And I was like, why do they do that? It's like, this is just what they do during flu season every year. I was like, it bugs me. They all get their, I was like, I'm so glad we don't do that here. Fast forward 15 years and oh, fuck. Oh, well.
Hey, Timo.
Listen, Wrangler. It's very simple to understand.
Oh, Kristen.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Eventually, we all have this thing called the yellow fever because we all have this fetish for the yellow people. And so eventually the West always does the same that the yellow people do. Okay, that's why we always copy them 15 years later. We're always trying to catch up. So you say, oh, we thank God we don't do that here. 15 years later, now look, we are. Eventually, we're going to do the social credit system. And then eventually, we're going to kill off our daughters and replace our boys and have a population crisis.
They're
and then we're all going to become communists.
I don't want to go into those discussions, dude. That's getting way too political. I don't mind going politics here and there a little bit, but we start talking that, it'll derail the whole show.
I'm just
Bambo is here for one reason.
The crazy train.
But first off, let's get back to the chat. Timo Burnham. He says, howdy, boys.
Timo!
Hey, I hope she comes back. I quite enjoy having another female presence.
Maji, I can't imagine
wait until the show is over before you say that.
Oh, no. I'm excited. Lord of the Rings lore. We're diving. Let's dive.
Let's go.
My favorite show, Bambo, is Rings of Power. Just letting you know.
Oh, gross! I couldn't even survive 5 minutes of that show.
Good.
No. She told me that she couldn't go 5 minutes without watching that show.
One time, I came around the corner and my mom was watching that show. I watched like 30 seconds of it, and I'm like, "Are you seriously wasting brain cells on this?" And she's like, "I think they're trying to go somewhere with this." I'm like, "Mom, how many episodes have you watched?" She told me, and then I'm like, "Do you like the show?" And she's like, "I'm hoping something will happen."
Yeah. Well, what's the fact that they completely screwed the Lord to heck and hell and back?
Well, my mom's not
Bambo, you remember they were trying to hide that they actually didn't own the rights to the Silmarillion to adapt. They bought the rights for the appendices for Return of the King.
That's because Tolkien Estate won't allow anything other than the trilogy, The Hobbit, and the appendices. And that was because
they couldn't use Hobbit because Warner Brothers has the right to that.
That all goes back to Tolkien himself. Tolkien himself sold the right to those books right before he died because he was needing some cash. And the Tolkien Estate cannot stand that they don't have that control anymore. So they released that agreement like crazy. Or at least they used to when Christopher was still alive. Now we'll see how things go.
Now that he's gone, I don't have high hopes.
Well, remember
because his grandson doesn't care for it.
Yeah, his grandson said, what was it? Oh, Peter Jackson was too accurate to the fucking books.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah, right.
Christopher hated him because he despised anybody even doing something like that, but at least he kept things true. I was kind of
like
afraid
the
of that.
The essence of the story
was
good, just not the in the movies. The essence of the story was good, just not like the details were different as they had to be.
But, they had to be adapted. But even then, Peter Jackson did his very best to keep the essence, the the ideals of Tolkien because he didn't want to change it unless he had to, and even then he respected the original lore enough to keep it.
He said straight up he was making the movie for Tolkien, as if he were the audience.
Yeah, and I can love the movies for what they are, and they were obviously made to be a love letter to Tolkien. And so now The Hobbit's another story. I loved The Hobbit, the first movie anyway.
Peter Jackson inherited it after it was over halfway done, so I don't blame him on that one. He was given it after the director quit.
Well, my best friend had a
but didn't he do the other two as well?
He was forced to because the contract was already made.
Yeah. Well, my best friend's theory at the time was because the rabid Tolkien fans who basically hold Tolkien as God and the Lord of the Rings trilogy as same as the Bible, so don't you touch this. They were so rabidly incensed that Peter Jackson dared to make the movies that she thought that The Hobbit was like flipping those people's bird. That was her opinion.
Nice. Also, Bambo, hi. Nice to have you on stream with us.
Hello to you too. Nice to actually speak to you.
I know.
In person, and not in chat.
Yeah,
we always turn into like a Californian white guy surfer, the Kahuna bra.
I can't speak, man. This is about as loud as I can go without my voice just completely giving.
He needs extra support now. He's sick, so he needs extra support. So the Kahuna bra.
Yeah,
did you get sick from the Hunger Games video?
Give Kahuna all the power.
No, just a few. Just a really. Yeah, just my kids were sick and a couple of bad days, not enough sleep. It all kind of came crashing down all of a sudden. But this conversation makes me think back to my hobbying days when I was still doing Lord of the Rings miniatures and painting and wargaming and all that. We made a custom rule set for a model that I made for Ungoliant, the spider demon who drained the life trees.
Ungoliant. Dude, you're just talking about one of my favorites in the whole book.
It's such a cool bit of lore. I love that.
Look like a granddaddy Longlegs.
Well,
listen.
Shelob is the descendant of Ungoliant.
Well, yeah,
and he got killed by a hobbit. Imagine that your grandchild gets killed by some dumbass country bumpkin. That's so lame.
Well, she wasn't actually killed by. She was killed by Sam.
Yeah, no, he didn't die.
Yeah, like imagine yourself fighting an army of Balrogs, right? As you're about to kill the god of evil here, and then your great descendant is killed by some dumbass hobbit. That's
what gets me. Yeah, because Ungoliant had when we were talking about Melkor earlier, or Morgoth, Ungoliant had him scared. That's like she actually had Satan himself, the equivalent of Satan, because people think that Sauron, Tolkien's equivalent to Satan. Sauron was not. Morgoth was.
Mm-hmm.
And she had Morgoth scared. So.
Yeah, but here's the good question. Sorry.
She drained the life out of the light trees. Of course, freaking Melkor was scared. Morgoth was scared.
Yeah.
But here's the fun thing, though. Ungoliant to me is fascinating because this is my theory on Arda, the universe itself. That's like a small little light fire compared to the complete void darkness where Ungoliant came from. Like, what's to say that Ungoliant was the only thing that came from that void? Like, what's outside of Arda, you know? And hell, Morgoth is like at the doors of midnight, and he's like wandering around the void for eternity. What the hell is he seeing right now? And he's gonna bring the bear when the final battle comes by. Which, by the way, I'm completely for Dagor Dagorath, which is the final battle, basically the Ragnarok of Middle-earth. I wanted to happen so bad. I wanted to happen so bad.
I just don't want any wokies getting a hold of it.
Well,
has run its course.
For those who know a bit more than me, wasn't the Watcher in the Water something similar to Ungoliant as far as origin, or am I mistaken?
That is basically.
I don't think necessarily the same as Ungoliant, but yeah, there was a. People tend to forget that Tolkien had so much more myth beyond just what you see in the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a great night, Kiko Mons. Thanks
for
stopping by.
Moving.
Goodbye,
luck.
Kiko man.
Good luck, House Hutton.
Well, this is a fun thing too. Supposedly, now there have been many like misconceptions of like, ooh, Lovecraft was like not so popular, but maybe Tolkien read some stuff from him. Not necessarily true, but there is still some fun little nods to Lovecraftian horror with the Watcher, which
I
to
agree with
me
that. Yeah.
just screams, "Oh my God! Are you telling me that possibly once the final battle comes, Cthulhu might show up and start wrecking shit?" You know?
Well, I guess the question
don't
would
think
be,
so.
whose book came out first to decide who influenced who?
Lovecraft for sure. Yeah.
Lovecraft died in 30, which is a shame because he didn't get to see World War II, because that would have been fucking awesome.
It's a shame he didn't get to see
Not
the
quite
worst.
the mix of terms you meant to have.
It's too bad he died before one of the worst conflicts the world has ever seen. The advent of,
Imagine all
the
the books he
nuclear
could have
age.
written about the Holocaust, dude. I missed on so many awesome books.
Crow, watch what you say, dude.
Okay, evacuation. There are so many books about evacuation that I didn't get to read because he died before all of that. Better?
I'm talking about the. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just think about our language carefully.
Evacuation. That's.
Yeah, we're evacuating that issue.
Back to Tolkien. Okay, I do have a question because I am not a bookie like with the Lord of the Rings. I know a lot of the basics and some of the lore. Like I'm not a hardcore can eat, breathe, sleep Tolkien. Did Sauron kill Radagast?
No.
What
Tolkien does not
happened to
really tell
Radagast?
you.
Oh, okay.
Radagast is mentioned in the book, but they don't really do anything with him. You know.
Well,
He
is
doesn't
he
do
mentioned
anything
in the Lord of the Rings books? I can't remember.
Well, that part
He-
he is mentioned, but he's just because he was sent by Saruman to go find Gandalf. That's pretty much all you get him. But no, Tolkien really doesn't specify what happened to him afterwards.
Yeah. And also, there's the Blue Wizards. We don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
No,
but weren't
they went to
those
the
in
west
a
and
totally
disappeared.
different land during this time?
Well, the Blue Wizards went into the east, and actually Saruman went with them for a while, and he returned. And it's rumored that some of the witchcraft and the cults and some of the stuff that came out of the east back to the west, according to Tolkien, may have been started by them. But he never.
Let me.
That would
Let
make a
me
lot
give-
of sense based on the lore.
Let me give you
You're saying
my.
the Blue Elves are supposed to be evil?
Let me give you my crazy Stormcrow headcanon with the Blue Wizards for a minute.
Personal canon doesn't count.
We're having a fan debate. It's okay. It won't
does
count
for
as
me.
canon.
It will count for me when I run a campaign in this world. Anyway,
He
the Blue
caveated it.
Wizards.
So there.
The Blue Wizards. Straight up, they just started the freaking Persian Empire in the East.
That could be for Tolkien's.
The,
It's like you kind of wonder how much of then again, the Horizon and the ones from right around the Rune area were still strongly influenced by Sauron. So the question would be, did the Blue Wizards go beyond his influence to found their own kingdoms?
You know what? Perfect little anecdote. Do you know Berserk?
Careful with that one, but
you don't know Berserk. Okay. Berserk has a faction called the what are they called? Damn it. Kahuna, help me out. What was the Persian Empire in Berserk called? The Kurshan Empire.
Yeah.
That is something straight up I see the Blue Wizards doing. Just starting like their own version of Muslim Gondolin or something.
Wait, are the wizards supposed to be fucking evil?
Wait,
No,
I
we
thought
don't
the
know.
wizards were supposed to be neutral.
They were.
Yeah, I thought everyone, but it was Saruman who was the only one that was like, "Fuck you, bitches."
No, what happened is all 5 of them were sent by the Valar in the west to actually come support the east. Supposedly, the Valar had interfered directly with Middle Earth on behalf of the elves before the First Age and kind of figured, oh, well, if we come in directly ourselves, we actually screw things up a lot. to the physical nature of the earth. So we're going to send these 5 wizards dudes over to help take care of man, who's having problems with Sauron, who happens to be one of us, but well, one of our minions.
Now, aren't the wizards? They're supposed to be like the equivalent of seraphs or angelic beings.
Yeah. Which no, was Sauron. Sauron was an angel. The I guess the closest you might be able to say that the Valar would be to the archangels. I guess you could say sort of. Morgoth was the equivalent of more of Satan.
See, I thought the eagles were more the archangels because they could go between the.
Is supposed to be Satan because he's the one who defied the first one to defy.
Didn't the Maya or the wizards? Each one had their own individual job or task that they were sent to do.
Well, they were serving under the Valar, and don't forget the Valar were the highest of the Aenir. And the Maiar were the lower ones, and the Valar were the 13 highest, which was 14 till Melkor fell.
Hold up, Bam, I got a question for you.
Oh yeah, go
What's
ahead.
that?
Why the fuck did they follow Morgoth in the first place?
Who
Why
wants
did
to
the
go
angels
first?
follow Morgoth, but follow Satan? The demons.
Yeah, but they're not evil like Morgoth becomes.
Well, okay. This is where the fun philosophical debates come in Silmarillion. Basically, Morgoth, it wasn't that he started off as rebellious. It was more like the god of this universe, Eru Iluvatar, had something called the Flame Imperishable, which basically allowed you to create the universe, right?
Yeah.
Morgoth wanted to have that fire for himself because he wanted to create his own universe. The problem is that, to put it lightly, he was that emo kid that liked to listen to Nine Inch Nails while everyone else was listening to classical music.
Yeah.
And
listen, the most lore I know is that he got out-rap battled by God.
Well, it wasn't so much that.
No, that was Sauron.
Is that Melkor, when he couldn't find the flame imperishable, it's like God, Iluvatar brings them all together. He tells them the music that he's creating is going to be created. He creates through their singing. But Melkor wants to do his own thing, so he keeps creating dissonance into the music. And it creates the evil things in the world. So it's like Eru was creating the universe through their singing.
And so his corruption is the original sin, basically.
This reason why there's if you go back and read some of the histories of Middle Earth, they say Sauron made a one ring to put on his finger. Melkor's ring was Arda.
Yeah.
So the only way to destroy Melkor is to destroy creation.
Basically, humanity inherits a broken, dying, desolate, wasted Earth after the elves leave, which is going to bring about the apocalypse to Middle Earth called Dagor, which I cannot wait to happen. It is going to be fucking sick.
Technically, Arda was corrupted from its very creation because of Arda.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Even the elves were technically corrupted.
Honey, your kids are shouting in the background. Can you mute your mic when you're not talking, please? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
it's not my kids.
Morgoth's supposed to return and destroy the Middle Earth.
FBI?
FBI, open up.
Right, Bambo?
I couldn't hear you. What was that?
Said Morgoth's supposed to eventually return and will destroy Middle Earth.
Yeah, that's Tolkien's version of Ragnarok. Yes.
Yeah, Tolkien, he combined a lot of different
Norse mythology was his primary influence, wasn't it?
Well, it was Norse and British, which is just together.
Anglo-Saxon, Pictish, and yeah,
he
loved Old English as well.
Yeah, he loved European mythology, especially Western European mythology. He studied a lot of that, so that was his influences.
Well, you could definitely see it in the different kingdoms of man. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No
also,
doubt.
do we ever find out who all the ring wraiths were? What kings they were?
No,
we never find out.
I did learn, but I don't know if it's official because I learned it through Games Workshop and all of their.
Yeah, it was made up for games. Yeah. It was made up by Games Workshop. It wasn't something Tolkien actually stated.
That's what I thought. It's too bad because it was really.
Well, it's only one of them was stated, right?
No, for
None.
Games Workshop.
None of them.
Yeah,
So not the Witch King of what was it? Witch King.
Well, the Witch King of Angmar, it was called Angmar because Angmar was a kingdom he founded in the north after he was a ring wraith. That wasn't founded until the Third Age.
Okay.
And it's theorized that he was never a king in the first place either. He just claimed he took it. Like
the
it wasn't
appendices will
What do
tell
you mean? You mean a king?
Yeah, the appendices will tell you, or the Tolkien lore will tell you that Tolkien said the myth was that they were non-kings and that possibly 3 of them were Numenorian. So were the high men. But Tolkien said it was a myth, so he didn't specify
Well, they're supposed to be men, aren't they?
They are men.
Numenorians are still men. They're just
I know you guys don't consider the games as part of lore, but the Lord of the Rings game War of the North actually confirms or goes along with the theory Bambo's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good game too, actually.
So that's a theory that Tolkien alluded to, but that's the beauty of some of Tolkien's Histories of Middle Earth. Whenever those 12 volumes were released, since he was creating this was his magna opus over his entire lifetime, and he tended to change things and figuring out for sure which concept Tolkien meant to be the actual story or one that was an idea that he scrapped and went back to. No one knows exactly for sure.
Well,
I found myself running into that trap in one little book. Imagine a whole series.
Well, wasn't he also wanting to write a sequel series to Lord of the Rings?
And
Yeah.
this is interesting.
Can I sorry, that's so excited about that. Can I explain that one, please?
Please, go ahead.
Okay. So let me pitch it to you like this. Basically, the sequel was going to be called The New Shadow, and there are like a couple of excerpts here and there, but it follows like an old man who was like, I don't remember if he was like a descendant of one of the people that fought in the Battle of Hamler Fields, right? And he is like hearing whispers and rumors of like a new cult forming and in the city. And basically all we get of that story is him following this kid to like this secret church thing, and he just feels like this penumbra of evil from like Sauron, right? Like,
well, it was a situation of
happening.
Yeah, kids. It was said that the young men that didn't grow up in war began to idolize the orcs and acting like the orcs, and so it wasn't so much Sauron, but it was the orcs.
Yeah, and basically the reason why we didn't get it is very simple. Tolkien was like, listen, this is very depressing. This is humanity. We fucking suck. I don't want to do this. It would probably like taint the ending of the story, so I'm just gonna put it away. That's it. He didn't
could have
want
made
to
a new
write
villain.
that sounds like the modern idolization of gangsters.
Yeah,
this
but
Yeah.
he told you it was. Well, sort of. He said it in the early reign of Aragorn's son. So whenever Elendil's early reign is what was said. And Aragorn ruled, was it 120 years? I think Aragorn ruled 120 years.
I think he died at 300, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
I don't think he made it. I don't think he made the 300s, but he was old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an old boy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And basically he was like, it's gonna be a good thriller, but very depressing. I'll leave that up to some fat fuck called George R. R. Martin to make depressing fantasy books for people. Okay? And here we go. I consider Westeros to be exactly what's gonna happen in Middle Earth 1,000 years in the future.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like Gimli when Legolas makes that comment about how men will always wither in the spring, but Gimli tells you that they always rise. Gimli, or I might be getting the two mixed, but says that men always seem to rise up and renew.
That's a questionable analogy. Anyway.
Yeah, I if I was there, I would have just pointed them straight at a grave and told them, yeah, I think we're better off at just let Sauron win this time. Way quicker. You have no idea what you're waiting for.
Elves and go, why? You guys haven't done anything. You're the one even
Hold
let
up,
him
hold up. No.
remain.
The elves didn't
You
do
could've-
dick either. So let's not elf ride over here, you know?
Well, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Silmarillion. That's my favorite of all of them. So,
Dude,
and I
they
look at what the elves were
abandoned. They
doing.
ran away.
Yeah, they
Exactly.
ran away. They're bitches. They didn't even
Fuck
conquer
them.
Middle Earth. They didn't even conquer Middle Earth. Immortal race of beings, and you don't conquer the humans?
On
What's
top
wrong
of
with
that,
you?
they sit here and they judge the humans because
It's not
the
hard to do,
humans
though.
often worship Morgoth and then Sauron. And I'm going, well, wait a minute. You guys were saved by the Valar, taken across the sea to basically paradise. You come back here, you hide yourself in your little enclaves. You won't have nothing to do with the humans. The Valar have not sent any emissaries to the humans, so the only thing they know is Sauron and Morgoth. And you're
Hold up.
pissed because they're
Bambo.
worshiping these guys.
Bambo, they also helped Sauron make the fucking rings.
First place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, no,
He was
no. No,
Oh,
no,
no,
even
no.
better.
It's man.
Even
It's
better.
a good thing Galadriel had that dagger, right?
Yeah.
No, guys.
So the
even
elves
better.
kind of turned into Tolkien's version of Oppenheimer.
Sort of.
No. Now, here's the better thing. Sauron, by himself, all he has to do to sink the greatest human civilization on Middle Earth is be like, hey, guess what? You see that land over there? That's where the gods live. You want to beat death? You got to invade it. You got to invade and kill the gods. You guys can definitely do that. And look what happened. Look what happened in Numenor.
Yeah, but at the same time, can you blame? I could see how men could believe that. I'm not saying that I agreed with them. I could see how they could believe that.
Yeah,
Because they
I don't
see
feel sorry
all
for
they
them.
know is the elves came over, the elves are immortal. So they're going, the elves lied to us. That's where you get immortality. They're denying us as humans of it. We die. Because I kind of agree. I don't consider death to be a gift, whatever Tolkien says.
Listen.
I don't know. If you're immortal, I would imagine the spirit would get weary after a while.
Well, I get it, yeah. And that's kind of what Tolkien.
How did Tolkien explain how they have children, the elves, if they're immortal?
Oh, this is okay. Bob, please let me explain this. This is how. Okay, so elven women have babies. They have babies. This happens. But do you know how long it takes for them to have them? 9 years to have one elf baby.
Where in the lore does it talk about that?
It's in the freaking in the histories.
Histories of Middle Earth.
The birthing
the 12 volume
process. The back
histories.
rooms of the Lord of the Rings lore.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being pregnant for 9 years?
So you're saying that Aragorn was going to be in diapers by the time his son gets in diapers, right?
No, because Arwen basically became human. She could make the choice.
I thought she was supposed to be immortal. That was the whole point.
No, she was not.
She's still immortal, and that's
Yeah,
why he didn't want her.
No, she gave up her immortality.
Yeah, her father Elrond was of human and elven lineage.
A
And so
bastard.
the argument was he human or was he elf? So he and his brother were given the choice. You pick one or the other. And his brother chose to be human and
Is that
was
a change in the
Aragorn's
movie?
ancestor. What's that?
The movie changed it where it was because the whole thing he was warning her that she's going to live forever. and
Because
watch
what
him
happened
die.
is Elrond chose to be elven, but the ability to choose was also given to his 3 children. So his 2 sons and his daughter were also given that choice. And she chose to be human when she married Aragorn, which is why she also says there's no ship that can carry her. When Aragorn dies, when he's dying, he tells her, take a ship, go to Valinor. And she says, I can't. There's no ship. I'm barred from there. No, there's no ship that can carry me thence.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the movie was also making it out like she was going to live forever.
But she does say
long
that
after
she
he
chose a mortal life to Aragorn in his dream.
And then the whole point was she was supposed to actually see the rest of the vision when she had a son, and that makes her fully commit.
Yeah, that's all made up for the movie.
Yeah.
Is that all made up?
But it's a nice movie touch.
It is a nice, well, like especially because the romance is barely freaking touched in the book.
I will say that actually sounds like a bad change from the movie because that kind of
No. Hold on.
the point of the whole point of her choosing human because the movie doesn't make it out like that at all.
Guys, we're forgetting something very important here. Let's take that situation, Arwen Aragorn, and let's have George R. Martin write it. How badly do you see that happening?
No,
we don't want George R. R. Martin. This is about Lord of the Rings. Damn it!
This is Tolkien. This is
More
a
Tolkien,
beautiful
less Martin.
creation.
The
This isn't incest
tonal
among
change.
siblings.
We've had a rap over
Wait,
there.
hold up! Isn't there
The
technically
Silmarillion,
incest in
actually.
Lord of the
Speaking of
Rings?
incest.
The tonal change would be going from Lord of the Rings to Martin stuff. It would be like going from next gen to Discovery.
No.
Wrangler,
Let me explain
Wrangler.
the question though. The only incest that shows up in Tolkien is in the story of Turin, and that's because they did not know they were siblings, and it ended in tragedy. He dies, he kills herself if he finds out.
Yeah, but even then, it had a consequence. Martin.
Yeah,
does
it
not
was a
have
tragedy. It was not a. It was not glorified.
Listen, Glaurung is the ultimate.
It's literally the propelling force of the entire war.
It's like you guys didn't hear about the elves in the south.
I believe those would call hobbits.
First cousins or something else. That's how inbred they are and shit.
Well, first cousins is another.
Those weren't elves. That was just skinny rednecks.
First cousins, Bambo
They're
is
just pale.
fucking,
I get it. Yeah.
That's your half sister.
Those are
Vulcan
drow.
rednecks.
Hey, also, I have a little Tolkien thing here to show off real quick. My sister got it for me this last year. It's a nice edition of The Hobbit. Little slipcase.
I've got that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Don't be throwing down against Bambo on that front. She'll break open the glass cabinet and start throwing it all away.
Bambo, show your folio edition of Lord of the Rings.
My what?
Very nice pillow there, Kahuna.
Oh, you don't know? You know what Folio Society is, right?
I know what that is. But what? You have a folio, dude? What?
Check out them chops. You got the new face dude going on. Opportune moment to have a congestion.
It's not new, but it is. I'm just too lazy to keep it up most of the time when it comes to.
Well, you had a different style last time you were on camera.
Say that again.
No, Billy Bob, I will not do that.
He thought about it.
I'm sick. I'm not dumb. Also,
Maji shows her beaver, and then you can't get it up. I got you.
No, Wrangler, show Tim Allen's comment.
To be fair, it is squishy now.
What was that, Crow?
Show Tim Allen's comment above the uneven one.
Don't do it.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Too late. There's only video.
Yep. There you go.
I did say don't do it. If he says do it and I say don't do it,
it didn't register till I was hitting the button.
We had a rap battle over the George R. R. Martin versus J.R.R. Tolkien.
That was beautiful, man.
You can play the clip, Wrangler. I sent you the link.
Please do. I love that video so much.
Is there anybody here who has not seen this?
I actually haven't.
I don't know what you're
Is
talking
it as
about.
epic as Jim Hanson's rap battle?
Far better. It's the best one they ever did.
Down. I don't even know what it is about.
Kahuna, how dare
you watch epic rap battles?
Hey, Animation Overload.
I have. Animation.
I'm sorry, Animation Overload. I keep trying to call you Overlord.
I do the same thing. Maybe it's a sign. He will one day.
Everybody be quiet. Nice. We gotta listen to this beautiful, beautiful music. I'm gonna be quiet now.
Are we gonna get dinged?
I don't know. By the way, remember you sent me that message, Billy Bob, asking if I got copyright for playing that clip last week, and I said no. It's got the copyright thing on there now.
Yeah.
It took them a lot longer to pick it up because
I have
had other music playing in the background. We were talking over it, but
you know what? I think you're getting copyright claim for it on it. I think it's the music in the background.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, no, the music in the background on that one, what was playing during that one was we were playing our music over top of it at the same time. So that's probably why it took so long for them to catch it.
Well,
yeah,
your call,
I noticed.
not me.
I noticed if you can play music a lot more easily in shorts. They don't copyright claim those very easily, but just because by their nature, shorts are only like a minute
Comedy
long.
Central copyright striking people over fucking South Park clips.
Yeah, but
except for now, Paramount's getting on it because they're out of money.
yeah, they're pretty good.
So that must be
Paramount-
just
Take the
recently
gamble and
they're
listen,
starting
or-
to do this
Well,
shit.
if this is going to cause a hot copyright strike, don't do it.
Is this a YouTube video?
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
I didn't hear that. Can we get another one of those?
I bet you that's what's getting flagged, dude.
No,
It's
no,
Paramount.
it's the Mr. Garrison clip.
Oh, that one? Yeah, probably because it goes on too long.
Just the sight of those breasts.
That one.
That one.
All right.
Do not do.
Yeah,
Your
copyright.
call, regular. I put it out there for you.
I already pulled it up. You know what I'm intending to do here.
Let's play the video.
No regrets.
Yeah, no regrets.
Let's do it.
No regrets.
All right, everyone mute so there's no echo.
But we're going to keep pausing it every few seconds to have a discussion so we don't get...
There you go. I will say that these guys did a great job looking like the authors. I will
Yeah,
give them.
it's
So this guy really does look like an old boat
That's
captain.
pretty good.
It looks like he lost weight, actually.
All he needs is
Steamboat Les
the
Billy.
pipe. He needs the pipe and the parrot. That's it. He doesn't even need the parrot, just the pipe.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
Your elves! Gather up your trolls and your soldier elves! And your ents and your orcs and your wargs and your stings, your dwarves and clam drains! Cause there's a new literary lord in the ring!
And he's rocking out over there. This is the musical chair version.
All right.
You know the secret to that game? You have to be unafraid. Like, you have to be willing to sit on top of somebody else. And when you're my size, people are not eager to participate.
Well, just like his books, the bits of this are coming in long stretches.
Dude, this guy's shirt's about to bust open. If he moves anymore, and it's gonna trip.
You ever seen him
Is it Epic Lloyd?
on appearances? It's not wrong.
It's not wrong. No.
Is that Epic Lloyd playing it?
Yeah.
So
Nice
apparently
Peter plays
Tim Allen
Smokey.
has never seen this either. Okay, I'm not the only one.
All right.
Tim
All right,
Allen.
Let's continue.
Yep.
Let's
They're
go.
falling up with every character I've written, and I kill them. And they're like, what the hell? Your bad guys died, your good guys survived. We can tell what's gonna happen a page in age 5.
Now, what do you think? Does he have a point there in that
No.
line?
Absolutely not.
'Cause I saw a lot of good guys
died.
go down that
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
good
want to
guys
see go
died.
down.
What I'll say is it's I don't even like comparing them. They're so completely different fundamentally from the ground up.
That's part of the
Oh
game.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
Hold
not
on,
only
hold on,
that, but you could kind of tell where one actually really cares about the lore, the story, the world, and the other one can't even finish.
Hold on.
Well,
Let me see my piece.
Maji, he does care. He just I think he's never going to release it. I think that's my prediction. But yeah.
Hold on.
There's
hold
another
on. Let me see
theory.
my piece. Sorry.
Another theory?
What's the theory?
The other theory is that he realized that to do the conclusion that the book deserves means to go against all the stuff he's been crapping on the entire time
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Yep.
my opinion is he planned on ending the book similar to how the whole season, season 8 ended, and when everybody blew it up, he's like, "Oh crap, I don't know what to do now."
Yeah.
It's very simple what you gotta do, fat boy. Don't do the fucking deconstruction thing all the time and just wrap it up in a way where it doesn't do the right writing again.
But
You know,
I
'cause it's
honestly
horrible.
think
We get it.
how the series ended was how he was going to end his book.
I think it
I
was
know,
probably
but he
better
has
written,
to-
but yeah, I agree.
But this is the thing. He has a perfect opportunity to course correct. He has the tools and pieces to do it, but he's like, nah, I'm way too
Goes against his beliefs.
exactly. So he's too prideful for it. He's too prideful for it. That's why I'm just waiting for him to die so that Brandon Sanderson can come in and finish the books.
No, he's
I'm-
not the right writer for it.
Joel
Gotta get
Abercrombie.
I haven't
No
read
one's
any
the
of
right writer for it. Bite thy tongue.
Joel Abercrombie. For those who read the first Law trilogy.
Yeah, he could do it. He's
No,
actually maybe a
George
better.
R. Okay. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I've literally read only one paragraph and seen only 5 minutes of the TV show, and I'm like, done.
Yeah,
You've
that's
seen
how
more
I
of
am.
it than I have.
Well,
I
that's
haven't-
purely because I was curious about it enough, but then I saw how much the White Walkers were in comparison to what I was doing in Okinawazi with the Draugr, except mine are better. And no ego.
Yeah,
And
I believe you.
oh yeah, I said nope. I'm gonna do just like William Gibson did when he started watching Blade Runner. He literally walked out the movie and said, "Nope, that interferes with what I'm doing with Neuromancer. I do
too
not want to be."
close, yeah.
Gibson.
Also,
Yeah.
MD.
Although-
what I will
Yeah.
say is, in the books, the whites are very different than how they
They're
are.
elf-like. They're more in common with the elves of Lord of the Rings. Actually,
No,
just evil.
they're much closer to like maybe the Mel Nibbanans from Elric.
Ooh,
Like just a very
Never
monstrous
read.
version of that. Yeah.
No,
Never
the
read,
Tar-
never
the Tar-
seen.
The
those
Targaryens are
look-
more non-Nibanians, really.
Never mind.
Sorry.
Well, let's continue the video. See what else they have to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
see,
monkey
you gotta
way.
find some sex in your movie. Yeah. Ditch the Goonie and cast a couple boobies. This ain't your Fox and not David the Gnome. Your Hobbit Hole heroes can't handle my throne.
Get ready for
Oh,
your
yeah.
Tolkien,
Well,
man.
if he did that, it's kind of sidetracking the whole point of his book.
Well, never said that. This is a rap battle. They don't play fair. They take
No.
personal shots all the time. It gets even worse. Trust me.
Well, it's like
let's,
that. It's like that.
let's see
Star
what kind
Wars-
of shots the master here can take or
Yeah.
give.
So,
Queens, dragons, dwarves, horses, fortresses, magic, and swords. You have beat my whole shit, you uninspired hack. You want a war, George? Welcome to Shire Rock. In book sales, you got nothing to say. I'm number 1 and 2. You're under 50 Shades of Grey.
Now playing Tolkien here, is that nice, Peter?
Yes, it is.
What I wonder what made him choose that as a screen name. Nice Peter.
No idea.
It's like one of those things you pick when you're a teenager for a screen name, going, haha, that's funny. Then you could become a bigger name. You're like, maybe
Oh,
I should have
crap, I'm
picked a
sorry.
better name.
No, Wrangler, that's nothing compared to all the old Xbox usernames people used to have for Xbox Live.
Oh,
man, you remember the old Xbox days when you can just be a
yeah,
complete racist and not be
we
evil?
can't talk about that though. Not on stream.
I miss
YouTube
those
blows.
days, though, man. Those were the greatest days of Xbox.
I know. We just can't talk about it on stream because we'll get nuked.
I miss old
Where you are.
good old fashioned racism, man. We need that back.
Ben Stipanek has joined us.
Well,
Hey, Ben.
welcome to the stream. Good time to come in, Ben.
Hey, well, you want in
Stipanek.
fantasy settings, you
Oh, yeah.
can have true racism because you actually have different races, unlike real life.
Yeah.
oh yeah. He's also a bit of a Lord of the Rings buff, so beware.
We gotta flock together, man.
I'm never gonna let that go. Racist is the wrong word for the content.
Hey,
No,
can you
right.
guys share the link to this in the chat? Tim Allen's asking for
yeah.
it. So he can watch it
Absolutely.
unpaused.
Mr. King.
Yeah, it must get a little annoying the way we got to do it, so we don't get.
This
named.
is my favorite
What?
ERB of them
a
all.
little longer?
My second favorite, and it's a close one, is Gordon Ramsay versus Julia Child. Look
Hold
that
up, hold up. No, no,
have
no.
much
I got
weirder
to shout
favorites.
out.
That sounds
I gotta-
hilarious.
Oh yeah, especially when you see who wins that fight.
My favorite is Ben Franklin versus Billy Mays, which is seconded by what's his name versus the Easter Bunny, Mongol.
Oh,
guy there,
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan versus the
That
Easter
was
Bunny.
so weird.
I love that.
I
I didn't know
still
what
like
the fuck to do with that.
I still like Stan Lee versus Jim Henson because the ending.
Then you get dropped in on by Walt Disney. Yeah.
It's in the link, Tim Allen. Or I mean, it's in the chat now.
My favorite though has to be like Shaka Zulu versus Julius Caesar,
Oh, that's a good one.
McDonald's versus Burger King.
When
and-
Wendy's drops in.
Moses.
Yeah.
Isaac Newton versus Bill Nye rocks even harder because it's Weird Al playing Isaac Newton.
Yeah,
got Weird Al to
was
play
that was
Isaac
such a
Newton.
good call.
Oh,
Yep.
and
Was it the Tesla one was great.
Yeah, that one was good. Tesla versus Edison, and don't forget, darn it, I forgot. Was it Gandhi versus Martin Luther King Jr. because it's Key and Peele.
No,
forgive you so hard.
There's also Muhammad Ali.
I didn't like the ending of the
Michael Jackson
That's
versus
Edward's
Elvis was hilarious.
Yeah.
Did y'all watch
Muhammad
the
Ali
Bruce
versus
Jenner
Michael
one?
Jordan was good.
I'm
Y'all
still
watched the
waiting
Bruce
for
Jenner
House
one
versus Sheldon.
Hulk?
Who versus Sheldon?
House.
Oh dear God, that would be a fun one.
The people have been suggesting that, requesting that matchup since season 1. They haven't done it. So my guess is either
they don't want to.
Names like that, if they're going to do it, they want to either have it be friggin' awesome, or it's they probably try not good enough.
Awesome
yet,
or
not
nothing.
Good enough yet.
Hey,
Yeah.
MD, did you watch the one with Bruce Banner versus Bruce
Play.
Jenner?
Hated that. Hated that
funny,
one.
dude.
Why? You didn't like the joke of him turning into the Hulk and then Bruce?
I
versus
thought
Jennifer?
I didn't like
Catlin?
that joke. I got the point. The point wasn't funny.
BM originally has joined
got
us.
distraught. I thought it
Welcome,
was hilarious.
as well as Ben Stepanek. All right, I
We'll
think I
watch
called
the,
him out a little bit ago.
Stepanek.
Let's watch the rest of this. You guys want to watch the rest of this video? I mean,
Isaac
we're
Newton
talking about the
More
videos.
video. Play on.
We've been talking for a little while now. Let's
Play on.
watch the video.
You got a good point.
I'm the pros of a pro. Your shit's a ball. You're a pirate. You even stole my art.
Yeah.
We all know the world is full of chance and anarchy. So yes, it's true to life for characters that die randomly.
Spicy.
Okay, that's enough pause.
But newsflash, the genre's called fantasy. It's meant to be unrealistic. You myopic vanity. I continue.
Myopic manatee.
Notice quickly what he has on the screen behind him. That's Zork.
Yeah, I know.
And it's on the old
Commodore?
DOS system. Yep. Whatever he writes, I think it's on an old Apple still. He still writes on that. Hey, if it works, then that's what you like.
Yeah.
Well, heck, like what Stephen King used to do, the old typewriter, suspended, like sitting on a board between two fold-up ladders when he was younger. That was his.
In his laundry room. That's what he wrote Carrie on.
We got it so easy now. You had to go get paper if you made a mistake. They didn't have whiteout available.
Yep. He would take the old. He'd do what I did at work. He'd take the used sheets and like throwing away quizzes and stuff like that from the school he was teaching at, and write on the other side.
Yeah.
And then once you got it good and squared away, then you type it to transpose. You just never get
there you go.
Otherwise.
Play on.
Seriously object to what you're doing on these beasts. I'll cut you like my teeth on Beauty and the Beast. You went too deep, Professor Tweed Pants. We don't need the backstory on every fucking tree branch. I cut my teeth in the trenches of the sun. You locked your Santa Claus ass through Vietnam. It's hard for me to take criticism on clothes from a dude who sent a raven to say hi to his toes.
Holy F. That is such a lore deep good cut. That's a good joke. I love that. Dude. That's so good.
All right, continuing on.
Please.
Your fat jokes are worse than your pipe smoke. My show's the hottest thing on HBO. I'm rock and roll. You're a nerdy little image, and I may be dirty, but you got a hairy foot fetish, dog. Even the names of your characters suck. You got buffers and buffers and brandy bugs.
Foot fetish.
I mean,
oh yeah, he got second bonus, no doubt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, you sure you're the hardest?
Breakfast for all them goofy fucks. Lift up my gut and teabagging's my nuts. Yes, Lord. Just discussing how you and Jon Snow both know nothing. Because the backstory on my box office is brilliant. Got my children making millions off my silver brilliance, and I'm more rock and roll than you ever been. Don't believe me? Ask Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, didn't they write a whole song based around him?
Oh yeah.
I think Rush did too, didn't they?
I can't remember.
Yep.
A few did.
Close it out.
This battle shit I'm too towering. And every time I battle, it's return of the king. You got song.
Is it even a question? Tolkien won that.
Let's see if we actually done a new one.
Smoke them
At
like
least
you lit
George
them
R.
in
R. Martin
milk.
doesn't have any children to later ruin his shit. like talking to his grandson.
Yeah,
well, he ruined it himself.
There's also that Gandalf versus there was Gandalf versus Dumbledore. That was a lot of fun.
That one was pretty fun. Yeah, I remember that one pretty good. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm surprised they still have it up. You know,
which one?
Weird Al.
The Gandalf one versus Dumbledore because he just kept making nonstop gay jokes.
It was so yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
The Turtles versus the Renaissance. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't like it when it was the real versus real or fictional versus fictional, not the both.
Oh, so you didn't like the Wright brothers versus the Mario brothers?
No, not at all. I don't even like. I didn't even
Kirk
like
versus Columbus.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus versus Joan of Arc. Even though that's two real people, it was like what. So, now on the other hand, I liked I liked Teddy Roosevelt versus Winston Churchill. That was a good one.
Oh, there's also the movie director rap battle.
Oh yeah, the cavalcade. Yeah, starts at Hitchcock versus Spielberg, and then you get Kubrick starts to pop off, and then you got or Quentin Tarantino comes in, and then Kubrick comes in, and then Michael Bay's had enough of them all taking dumps on him.
Michael the fucking Russian presidents.
Oh yeah. Ivan the Terrible versus let's see. Yeah, Ivan the Terrible versus Ivan the Great.
In there. Yeah.
Yep. No, all the greats.
Oh, what was it? The Eastern philosophers versus the Western philosophers was awesome. That by the end, they got all of each other arguing with their own questions.
All right.
Black Sabbath also wrote a Lord of the Rings song, "The Wizard."
Pretty original. Well, let me just ask you all this. Let's really consider the lyrics of the song here. Philosophically speaking, in the characters of these two men, who is simply the better man, both in real life and in this song?
Tolkien.
Tolkien was a professor that enlightened minds and encouraged people to read and check out history.
Philip Baraja says, "We need Chris Farley versus Gorlock the Destroyer."
When I'm feeling better, we need Kahuna versus Hogzilla.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, I said
Kahuna, I'll give you a hand. We'll take on Hogzilla together.
Chris Hansen versus Epstein.
Wait, what was Campbell saying?
Well, I'll just say Tolkien was a whole lot nicer to his fans too.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Never mind. We need Chris Hansen versus Steven Spielberg. Did y'all watch that video I linked of by Dave Landau?
No.
They're doing the skit.
Bamna's right with Holy Diver. Yeah.
Hey, all right. So, yeah, Tolkien is the man. He will always be the man. He's going to be remembered for 100 years, even after we're all dead, and Game of Thrones will be forgotten as the masturbation material of a dumbass LARPer because he didn't even finish the masturbation.
Someone say Kahunas. What? Oh, never mind.
What?
That was very
I'm confused.
Someone told you to get better.
Hey guys, I think I gotta bow out. I'm only partially joking. I feel like garbage. So
you sound pretty bad, dude. Hopefully
well, Animation Overload already said it best.
Get some water.
Hope
dude.
you feel better, Kahuna.
You need electrolytes.
Yeah, you're right, Trippy. But I'm a camel, man. I can drink up to 2 gallons a day. It doesn't. Yeah, it's just how I am.
After you're feeling better, you could come back and
you need to get some Brondo.
Yeah, Kahuna, you and Stormcrow.
It's got electrolytes. Brondo's got electrolytes.
Kahuna, once you're feeling better, come back. You and Stormcrow are going to have a rap battle. We're going to call it Kahunas versus Cajones.
No.
Trippy, what's electric lights?
No, I could never do that.
It's what plants crave.
I love electric lights.
Crave?
Electrolytes.
Well, what's kind of electrolytes?
Well, it's Brondo. Plants crave Brondo because Brondo's got electrolytes.
I'm too freaking sober for this conversation. Good night, y'all. Love you.
No.
Hopefully get some Brondo. I really need some Brondo.
Rap battle video idea.
It's got electrolytes.
The dude versus Tyler Durden rap battle. How about that?
That would be pretty.
You guys see Superman versus Goku?
Already
Yeah,
done.
that's awesome.
But isn't Tyler Durden supposed to be
Yeah.
a fictional in the dude's head? It's not actually real. So it'd be the dude who made up Tyler Durden.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I'm
so you
just
think,
thinking. I'm
maybe
just
someone
thinking
that's
of
else
like
made up someone's head versus Tyler Durden. Who else is? What's another character in someone's head? It's not real.
Norman Bates. Norman Bates' mom.
There you go. Norman Bates' mom versus Tyler Durden.
I mean, that actually kind of makes sense now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. That's how that work.
But it's not something anybody wants to see. Thank you. Play again.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, normal humans.
There you go.
Give me 1 second, you guys. I gotta be right back.
So what's the next topic?
Yes, Tim Allen, but are
Anyways.
they giving commentary? If they're giving running commentary, then
The Flash versus Usain Bolt.
Oh, Royce just dropped his Alpha Core review.
Yeah, he
oh,
dropped
that's
it
where
like an
everybody's
hour
taking
ago.
off.
I'm gonna have to check that out later.
Hopefully it picks it up.
It's already got 69 reviews.
Nice.
The Flash and Usain Bolt. He
Bamber,
says,
you gonna
in
tell us-
short, he liked it.
Bambo, are you going to tell us how bad Rings of Power was?
Oh dear Lord, here we go.
You actually
Since
watched
I've never watched a single second of it, and only read a synopsis of the storyline, no need to go there. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist.
It's very expensive. It's a very expensive student film.
That's a disrespect to student films.
I wouldn't even go that far. The
I didn't
5
say-
minutes I saw was disgusting.
I'm more of on the that it's really subpar fan fiction.
Oh, it's not even fan fiction. At least fan fiction knows the lore.
Do you remember
Exactly.
the story the dude who was like suing Amazon for Rings of Power while also trying to like shill his book?
Yeah,
there.
because they
Ram!
stole it from him.
Yeah.
At the same time, I wouldn't want to announce to people that you wrote that garbage.
Exactly. And this is for someone who, though I enjoyed the Hobbit movies, after sitting through the theater watching the Desolation of Smaug, I looked at my mother and said, "This is basically Peter Jackson taking the Hobbit, throwing it into a trash can, setting it on fire, and roasting marshmallows over it while writing a script that was his fan fiction fantasy, complete with the Mary Sue Elf."
At the same time, though,
Good
I
description.
don't associate the Hobbit with Peter Jackson. He inherited a dumpster fire.
I mean, he did. I enjoyed the movies. I especially loved the characterization he gave for the dwarves, especially.
I love the first
enjoyed
one.
them.
Write
I
the
don't
second
compare
and
them.
third one. That wasn't dumped onto him. He did write the second and third one.
Yeah,
But that was after the contracts were already made, and the first one
But
was
he still wrote it.
over halfway in production.
He still had full control over the second and third one.
yeah.
And they got better. But the first one I can't rewatch. The other
Well,
two
the
I
first
can.
one's the only one I'll watch over and over and over. I don't really care so much for the second and third one, but as much. But I did enjoy the Hobbit. I don't compare the books to the movies. To me, they're two separate universes. They both have their pros and their cons, and I can enjoy them both. So that's why I tell my husband I am an MD over here that I am not a member of the Tolkien Canon Police. But there is a limit, and Rings of
She-
Fire crosses that.
She is not a member of the Tolkien Canon Police, but she is a super fan.
AS Burner has joined us. He says, evening, everyone. LOTR is a Christmas movie. But Philip Barajas says, should have been a single movie.
I agree.
I like
I
that.
haven't even seen the whole
Stuck with
thing.
what
I watched
happened
the
in
first.
book and didn't make up their own stuff.
I watched the first and never got around to the rest.
Listen,
We still got the animated version.
Bambo, listen. You may not be a member of the Canon Police, but not being a member of the canon police led to something like Rings of Power happening, and that show alone guaranteed my wish for the Spanish Inquisition to come back.
Okay, I
Sorry,
want
not
to
sorry.
know who in their right mind, if they even just watched the damn movies, forget reading the book, that's too much education for these morons. Watching the damn movies, in The Hobbit alone, freaking Gladriel kicks Saruman's ass in a dress, barefoot, and sent him back to Mordor using nothing but her magic. How the hell did they translate that into the mansplaining Rings of Power Galadriel?
Remember who's doing this. These are the same. This is the same group of people who have destroyed Star Trek, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. The point is they're trying to destroy everything that we loved in the past, including Lord of the Rings. The thing I find interesting about Lord of the Rings is that the Lord of the Rings fans are pretty much ignoring all the woke efforts to stick woke into Lord of the Rings, because we basically go, Tolkien didn't write it, not canon, therefore it's irrelevant.
That's because Tolkien's women's the strong, amazing women that they want him to be. Tolkien already wrote them perfectly.
Well, sure.
Where they were the combat warriors. He wrote them.
Hold
how
up,
he saw
Maji.
them
They
in
don't
World War
understand
I.
what strong woman is. They don't even
But
understand.
they were still feminine and graceful, and it's annoying.
Well, note that they can't. The two of Tolkien's strongest female characters were in the Silmarillion, which they can't touch.
Mm-hmm.
At least not yet. Not until Tolkien's grandson sells everything else out the door.
I think Warner Brothers is making an animated Silmarillion.
Now that's a different story. No, that's not the Silmarillion. That's coming out next year, and that is a Japanese anime version of the story of Helm Hammerhand of the Rohirrim.
Oh, okay.
And that one I'm actually looking forward to. That one looks like it's
if
gonna
it's
be good.
done right, that sounds amazing from what I've seen, what I've heard. But they've been really good at keeping everything under wraps and only releasing what they want released.
Yeah.
In terms of
Well, they
whispers,
said there may be more movies coming ahead, but we'll see how this one does.
You know who would have been amazing to make a Silmarillion movie in animation? Studio Ghibli. Get those guys to do that. That would have been amazing to see.
Philip Baraja said off topic, but someone said on the Geeks and Gamers stream, but Orlando Bloom would have made a good Link in Legend of Zelda movie around the time he made Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, now it's modern day, so it's probably going to be Tom Holland. And Chris Pratt will be
Tom
Gandalf.
Holland doesn't
Or
want to be
will
around
Ganondorf.
Hollywood.
All right, if
Yeah,
you
don't
look it
blame him.
up,
Isn't he doing?
I just think
Back
it's
to the
funny.
Future 4?
Every
Pratt
young male
as Zelda.
character right now is Tom Holland.
Oh, it would be Chris Pratt as Zelda. Get it right. Come on.
so I can tell you the new movie that's coming out in 2024 is called The Lord of the Rings: The War of Rohirrim, and it's being done by Philippa Boyan is involved. So she was part of the first movie, the three movies.
Yeah, but Warner Brothers does have the rights to the Silmarillion.
It's directed
for
by
adaptation.
Kenji Kamiyama. That's who's directing it. And Miranda.
I
Otto is
really
gonna be
hope you're kidding.
No, I'm not
I
kidding.
really hope. No, Philip here.
No, Philip
Sorry.
Baraja says, breaking news, Dylan Mulvaney has been cast as Zelda.
It's the possibility
That's brave and
of that alone that can't happen. That just makes me. I really wish we had Charles Manson back.
Sad part is there, Philip. I don't know if they'd be joking, but
I
yes,
don't
that's all
think they
brave and
would.
stunning. Consider what they just did in the last 3 episodes or the last 3 specials for Doctor Who. Nothing is beneath their morals.
All
All
cultural
right, read out.
debauchery is now on the table, unfortunately.
Read out. You can rant now. He just opened the door for you.
Go ahead, Rita. Give me the range. Give me that sweet hatred.
Tell us about the giggle.
Rita, are you even still here?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, he died inside, but he's still here.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that, and then I kind of died, and I'm just like, oh, I guess
Yes.
I can talk about it.
Tell us about
So-
the giggle.
Trippy, is that real?
What's real?
I think so.
What?
I think so.
What's real?
The Doctor Who.
Link
Amblin
you
says
just sent me.
Universal.
Back to the Future 4 trailer.
Starring guess who?
Oh, I thought
Well, hold on. I want to hear about the giggle.
Hold up, read out. I thought we were
No,
talking
it's
about
fake.
the Doctor Who.
No, the trailer thing's fake. There's Ready Player One sequences in it.
Seriously fake.
Yeah. All right. So I have to pull up the image. I really have nothing to speak about. Yeah, yesterday was Sunday. Yeah, yesterday Captain Garrett had his weekly stream, and before he went on air, I sent him an image, and I said, "You get no context. I just want you to react to it." And in all fairness, he gave me what I wanted, and we're just going to do the same thing now. If I might have to do it for the Gilded.
Go ahead.
I have nothing really to say other than I'm going to send a lovely. No, it's not a lovely, but I'm just going to send an image. No context. Wrangler's going to pull it up. It's in the private chat now on Gilded. Might take a moment.
I will get that, but hang on, you caught me.
Oh,
you did send it in Gilded.
Hey, Wrangler, I'm sorry, but
hang on. I was just grabbing the link. You mentioned Captain Garrett. I am putting the link to Captain Garrett's Swords and
Yeah, go
Starship
check out
YouTube
Captain
channel
Garrett.
down
He got
in
a
the
great
description
stream every Sunday.
Yeah, every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern it starts. And the dude is just a blast. He is so interesting to listen to. He's got that way of talking where you could listen for hours. And that's a good thing because he talks for hours. And he holds
really
the
does.
attention
He
too.
got-
it's amazing.
He got a
When I'm not
stamina
working,
on
I'll watch it.
VHF.
hey, Wrangler, before I forget, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Before I leave, do you mind showing these guys the image on our player chat?
Yes.
Not,
If you
not
got to get
now.
going, we will
Another
do that real
image.
quick. I have that pulled up and ready.
An image with
Do you really want to follow that up with what we're about to show?
No. That's what
I'm not sure what we're showing first.
Not now.
Let's
Don't
talk
show me-
Readout. Readout's been waiting patiently. I'll stream.
Yeah. Do read out. Do read out.
Let Readout.
Not that
die
one.
inside.
Roll the other one.
That's a subset.
That's the wrong one?
Yeah, no, Gilded. I gotta get the image.
No.
You remember to take your medication, Wrangler.
No, that doesn't work. Oops. Hold on. That's
Remember, Gilded's broken right now. You can't send send files through Gilded.
I had to share screen on my browser tab. I got to shut it off so I can reopen it on the window. There we go.
Works for me. All those images are showing up in Gilded for me. Yep, just like that. I wish they didn't, but there it is.
Behold.
There it is. I wish it didn't show up. I really
He
did. I wish it
became
was broken.
binary.
What is this?
Why?
Oh yeah, that one image, and I thought that the toy maker dancing to Spice Girls was bad enough.
Why?
Gentlemen. Have you ever watched Doctor Who in your youth and you ever thought that
No.
something like this was going to happen?
No.
No.
Has there been anything in the series before that indicated this happening?
No.
Was there?
This is an abomination.
I ain't gonna
Is there
buy.
a reason for this?
Crow, I got over a decade put into this show. I adore this show, and that is small compared to what Boncher over here has put into this show.
I don't know the full extent, but I can hear the pain in
Racist.
Readout's voice, so I'll briefly give you a normie's explanation. The one dude pops out of the other one, but he comes out in such weird intervals that it just looks terrible all the way around.
Is he supposed to be like reincarnated in the next form, but he's kind of washing back and forth?
So
he's regenerating.
No, he's not regenerating. He's bi-generating.
They call it bi-generation.
So he just did
Well, they call
cellular
this
division.
bi-generation. This is not anything to do
He can
with
reproduce
regeneration.
asexually.
So he's an amoeba.
Apparently.
Even though
I
they
have-
look nothing alike, because if they were to just be a split
Yep.
together, they would be identical.
you're
in
talking,
biology.
you're talking about people that don't understand about biology, let alone that, you know,
Gentlemen.
hey,
So one of them is Neelix and the other is
Gentlemen.
Tuvok.
yes.
Gentlemen,
Go ahead,
gentlemen,
Riddell.
gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please read out.
Here's the thing. Regeneration is the most important law of the Doctor Who universe, in my opinion, for the creators that made it in the late 1960s. It was created to find a solution on how to continue the show when it was at its peak in 20th century popularity in 1966, because the first Doctor, William Hartnell, he could not continue due to health complications. He had to leave the show. He had to leave acting full time. So they were frantic to find a way to keep this product going, and they came up with the idea that the Time Lord, the species that the Doctor is, could regenerate, that he could reconstruct every cell in his body should he receive a mortal wound or his body dies of old age. Now, what that means is he dies over and over. We have watched this person die, what, 13, 14 times now?
Originally, they were limited. They were limited originally by the law of Rassilon to 13 regenerations. And no doctor could, or no Time Lord could do more than that. But then Matt Smith came along and they said,
Hey,
crap,
James.
he's 13. Now what?
So here's the thing. The whole process of regeneration, it's not a simple, it makes the character immortal. It is strictly stated it is a painful experience. It can lead to mental disarray. It can... Now, so far, the Doctor's never had any bodily deformations during his regenerations, but it is an intense.
I don't know. The one in the picture seems to be enjoying it.
Yeah, we won't.
It's it's the point is, it's not supposed to be some simple immortality. He dies over and over, and often when he dies, he doesn't just throw his lives out haphazardly. He dies usually sacrificing himself for the greater good, including the 10th Doctor, who was played by David Tennant, who is pictured to the left, which that's a whole story for another day. We'll get to that.
Yes, regeneration actually was really well handled.
It's arguably the most famous regeneration. It probably is the most famous now in the lore of Doctor Who. The problem was, when he left the show in 2010, they left on a very bittersweet note. One of his most trusted companions had to have her memory wiped of all of his travels in order to save her life. He grew lonesome because he decided he was going to travel without anybody else so he wouldn't harm anybody.
Crap crazy for a while.
Yeah, he kind of went a little crazy and decided that he can control the laws of time. Too much to the point that when he tried to save somebody that could not be saved, the person had the bravery to realize they had to, and I'm trying to say this as kind as I can because I'm not endorsing this idea, they had to take themselves out in order to restore the timeline. This kind of leads to the Doctor being forced into a situation where he knows he's going to die. He's had omens about it, but he ultimately dies not because of some grand battle, but because he has to save the father of his former companion in the most mundane way possible, redeeming his character, redeeming his descent into madness. And I'm keeping it vague just because I do want people to enjoy some of these story arcs. I don't want to spoil it all. And that is how David Tennant left the show in 2010. Well, as we all know, the show has fallen apart left and right. They can't keep viewers around, mostly because they've scolded all the viewers away with The Message. So what did they do? They brought David Tennant back, changing the laws of regeneration the first time around, because Jodie Whittaker, who Gary of Neurotic lovely calls Dr. Karen, she regenerates into David Tennant, or I should say degenerates, I guess. And this was what kept people invested for the 60th anniversary. Now, here's the situation. The people behind Doctor Who know that people like David Tennant, and they only came back for David Tennant for the nostalgia, but they're also daisy-chained with the wonders of The Message, which they cannot escape anymore. They cannot resist. And I also think there are some malicious reasons behind this, but we don't have time to get into that. That's with any story.
I have a thought to add on that about the Message. Go ahead first. You first.
So they're in a rock and a hard place. They're like, well, if we go forward with The Message, people are going to be upset. If we stick to our guns and keep making the fans happy, well, then we're not going to get any money, and then we're not going to be able to make this product anymore. So what they decide to do is just disregard regeneration and create this idea of bi-generation, basically gaslight all of us into believing that this has been a thing in the Doctor Who lore for generations, but you just haven't heard of it yet, which is complete BS. They pulled this out of their ass. And not only that,
it doesn't look like that's where they pulled it out from.
Well, I got to read his quote, and I pray it is just some mad rambling, but it probably will be sincere, that Russell T Davies, the current showrunner, stated when they were being, I believe it was actually David Tennant himself, were asking, what was your thought process of bi-generation? This was on a commentary. If I can find it, I've written down. Nope, that's not it, Spencer. That's my real name. Oh, no. Anyways.
You're named after a famous detective.
I'm named after a few other things. Anyways, 1 to 14. Oh, here it is. So this was on a live commentary, which included David Tennant watching this episode. Russell T Davies states, and I quote, with Peter Davidson and Colin Baker back being in it, they are all separated. They all came back to life with individual TARDISes. The gift of the toy maker. I'm calling it Doctorverse. I think Peter Davidson was left behind on the surface at Adrazani, woke up and there was a TARDIS, and he was carried on. Basically what he's saying, he's like, oh yeah, not only does this now occur to these two incarnations, now every time the Doctor died, he now bi-generated canonically, which means the former Doctor just all went and flew off with a TARDIS. I pray I'm mishearing this, but considering for the past several weeks, Russell T Davies has torn into the fan base when we critique him on ways he is going against the well-established lore, I'm going to take a bet that that wasn't a slip of the mouth. So he's undoing all of the sacrifices of not just Tennant's Doctor, but the previous Doctors. And I don't want this, again, to make me sound like I'm some morbid person, but what makes me so frustrated, this is so they can, quote unquote, let the Doctor retire. So he can go and be happy with a family. And he has the TARDIS and everything. And he can just sit there in coziness while his next incarnation flies off to have adventures. This goes against the very fabric of the Doctor. If the Doctor ever once gave in to his inner demons, just said, everybody keeps dying, I'm losing more than I win, I'm done, I'm leaving. You know what would happen to the universe in Doctor Who's world? It's gone. And this idea has been explored several times. In fact, there's a wonderful episode, Turn Left, that explores what happens if the Doctor was killed. In like the past 3 seasons, all the horrible things could happen. It just goes against what I think.
That's a retelling of Turn Left.
It is.
Except stretched out for 3 freaking. But there's not an expletive, profane, or loud enough for me right now.
But here's the thing, and this is just my thing. This goes against the.
Hold on. Sorry.
You're drowning. It sounds like you're drowning. Don't drown me, Crow. Come back. What do you want, Crow?
The wind. Are you outside?
Listen.
He's flying.
This is pretty much single-handedly convincing me that the Daleks deserve to win.
No.
Oh, no. The Daleks got changed too.
That's a story. We talked about that a few weeks ago. I just want to mention on this. In my opinion, what they have done with this whole bi-generation concept, because they want to have their cake and eat it too. They think this is going to make everybody happy. You're angering older fans because you're disregarding 60 years of lore. And how are you going to get new people invested in this when it's like, oh, this is a completely different thing, and he's not carrying any of this legacy? Ncuti Gatwa, the current Doctor, no, he's a separate. Even though they keep saying, no, he's the same person. No, he split off from the Doctor. We saw it on TV. I can't see him as anything else but a clone. I'm sorry. It's like they have no faith in Gatwa, which really, really hurts me because actually, to be honest, I think Gatwa could be a good Doctor. I genuinely believe it. But they're insecure. They don't have faith in a new actor. They want to stick to their nostalgia, but at the same time, they want to bash nostalgia. It goes against what is, to my opinion, it might be sappy, the best speech that sums up the zeitgeist of the Doctor. This is a Peter Capaldi speech, and basically, when his rival, the Master, is asking, why the heck are you doing this? You're going to die in this situation. And he replies, winning? Is that what you think it's about? I'm doing this to beat somebody? or because I hate someone, or because I want to blame someone. It's not because it's fun. God knows it's not because it's easy. It's not even because it hardly even works, because it hardly ever does. I do because what it is right, because it's decent, and above all, it's kind.
Okay, that was actually one of the few Capaldi episodes that was actually quite good. I fully, as much as I hate what happened in Capaldi's season, I do not blame him. And they every once in a while had a flash of brilliance like that. But that's like watching for shooting stars on a night when there's no shooting stars.
I'm sorry, Timeless Children just killed it all.
I didn't see it. I know that's one of the pieces of crap that was just pumped out by the BBC lately. So if you don't mind, Redout, you basically,
because you're going to give a very different perspective, and I do want to hear this because I definitely come from the new perspective. I want to hear the classic Who perspective.
Well, no, this is more of a case of what the bleepity blank is going on in the Beeb, in Auntie Beeb's house. And that is, and I'm going to extend this a little farther. You ever wonder why? Okay, Doctor Who was essentially dead about 3 years ago. Technically, it was dead following Matt Smith. If some people would say dead following, the Dr. Donna episodes, and especially they could have
screen frequency.
All right, look, all your private DMs.
Oh crap!
So, but okay. So I've been wondering, why is it that they keep hammering the message, even after they've pretty much lost their audience and the people that they're trying to quote unquote convert, nobody's coming to replace them. And I finally realized it's not about destroying what is and ending old IPs. It's about poisoning it's salting the earth. It's poisoning the well. They are trying to destroy in our hearts and minds what we loved as children and young adults. They're trying to destroy even the memory of these things so they can then try to insert their own dogma into your head on the backs and the, wearing the dead faces of their fallen foes. And that's what I started to realize with this. They're trying to convert people wearing the dead faces of those IPs that they have destroyed with their own both incompetence and malice. And I do truly feel people like Russell T Davies this is purely malicious. This is purely an intended goal for some philosophical retardery that they've got going on that they're trying to shovel on everybody else. Boy. And this goes. It's the same. It's the same failure that, and from the opposite side of the coin. It's basically why is it that Christian fiction and entertainment is often looked down on? Because they are preachers and evangelists first, and they push the sermon over all, and the story suffers completely. But theirs is the message. The alphabet people want the message. So that's tactics. Yeah, exactly, and that's why they're failing now. Because they're doing exactly what they used to mock the any other faiths doing this. But then again, does any other faith other than Islam do such hackneyed entertainment like this to push their faith? And I don't think so. Other than those two religions, I can't think of it. Maybe Hindu or something might, or Buddha. I don't know if Buddhist does, but but nothing's quite so sermon first. Message maybe, or sermon first, entertainment maybe.
It's just set up differently. East versus West.
Yeah.
But the point.
Yeah.
Can I add something to that?
Go ahead.
I've been developing this concept for a while, seeing all these things that I grew up with, Star Wars, all these beautiful things that I grew up with, right? And I've just seen all this. And I call it the Morgoth syndrome. What is the Morgoth syndrome? It's very simple. It is the complete, utter dominion of envy in your heart, and you see something beautiful. And you know deep down that as hard as you try, as hard as you want to do, you can never duplicate it. And that just fills you with hatred. And you see all these people who love the thing that you want to create, but you can't do it. You can't do it. You can never, in a million years, as hard as you try, create
something like Lord. So what do? Well, you have so much hatred and envy and bile in your heart that you want to spread that hatred to everybody else so they can feel as miserable as you. So that way everyone doesn't get to celebrate the original beauty of it.
Yep.
That's the Mozart syndrome.
Destroy what you love.
Has it.
Yeah, at least currently. That's pretty much it. And that's what we're seeing. So I'm not surprised
because it's having the opposite effect on me because it is inspiring me to have hatred for them, which makes me to create my own work that wants to destroy them. Because I respect the original beauty. I respect Lord of the Rings.
That works.
You know, I respect them. They are foundational. And to see these fucking parasites just spit on them like this, I don't care how horrible it sounds. I'm going to turn them into a steak and burn them alive. I don't care.
In Minecraft.
That's postmodernism.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
That's the goal of
whatever.
Yeah, that is literally the goal of postmodernism, is to take everything that had every symbol that had meaning and truth and smash it and find the weak points in its armor and apply crowbars until you can tear it apart, and all you're left at the end of the day is a pile of rubble. And then you can take all the pieces of the rubble that have lost all their symbolism and make something new out of them. And that's why I'm saying that the successor to postmodernism is neo-idealism. The idea of finding new ideals and new universal truths, objective truths, and stand those up. And these things have been battle-hardened and tested by postmodernism. They're the things that would not break down. And that these are the things on which current fiction is going, or new fiction going forward is going to be built on. When they come at it with the crowbars to break it down again, these things will be battle hardened and protected because we've already seen their arguments, we've seen their tools, and we know how to defend these against their honestly disingenuous attacks that they use to break everything down in the first place.
And our ideas should be a stronger foundation. It's built up. It has a base to it. We're based, so it's very hard to break at something with a strong foundation.
What you end up with is you go through the crucible of postmodernism and you find out you either get a new alloy that is resistant, or you get yourself what exactly is eternal. What are the truths that last through the harshest of fires? And that is the thing. You scrape off the dross, you reforge, and this is what you have. The crucible goes out, and you now have your new pillars or weapons that you have in front of you. And that's why I've been coining the term neo-idealism. We are finding, and the Iron Age is the spear tip. At least one of the spears of this, and it is leading the way. But this is why when people would ask me, are you Iron Age? Yes, I am Iron Age, but I am a neo-idealist. I am looking for the truths to hold up and value, because we are beings created to worship. We are beings looking for those eternal truths on which we can base our lives off of. And that is what we as entertainers, because every one of us that is a creator here is an entertainer first and foremost, we are looking at these things because we're not getting it. We're not getting this from the type of entertainment that's out there already. So we are having to forge our own. We're going through the refuse, we're piling it together, throwing it in the crucible, and finding ourselves a new alloy, or finding that which can withstand. And that's what we're putting out there.
It's very poetic. It's almost like you're describing, well, my life.
You're a crucible?
I'm gonna give you my philosophy on psychonomics. I have a whole philosophy built up myself that I'm gonna use. I don't go.
He's actually told me this philosophy.
Maji knows it. It's based as hell, and I build it up off of a foundation, so I make sure it's sturdy, and it's all based on energy and polarity. So it's all has like objective, fundamental truths to it.
Well, I found my faith is founded on the Bible and my faith in Jesus, and that's where I get mine from. So yeah, I mean, everybody's exactly. Those there is only one truth. There's no my truth. There's no your truth. There's no our truth. we can all. It's I use the simile of you can liken the truth to a mountain. Anybody can see the mountain from any different angle they want. It doesn't matter. The mountain is going to look different to you, but it does not change the mountain. You can stand on the top. You can look at it from inside. It will not change the mountain. The mountain is still true, and the truth never changes for any of us. But that is exactly why objectivism is so important. It's like we've had subjectivism. We've found out it is the rubble. You can't build something permanent, something that can last on rubble. It will always shift and slide and leave you ultimately fallen down with the rest of the garbage. You have to clear it away and build something or melt it all together and make a new foundation. And that's what doing what we're doing in the IronAge or in the in the indie movement in general are working towards. So that's my theory on that.
Yep, stay based.
See, in my story, I'm trying to say this without sounding weird. When I wrote my
we're all weird here.
We're all weird. But when I wrote my story, the way Wrangler approaches God, Christ, all of that is amazing. I've read his second book. He does it with such reverence and respect is beyond.
Really wanted
insane.
to get that right.
You could tell.
You, man.
See, for me, I wanted it. I wanted my beliefs to be in there without being in there. So for like my magic system and stuff goes back to love unconditional, which I grew up hearing that the pure love of Christ, the pure love of God, So for me, that was my way of incorporating where I stand in beliefs, was mentioning the purest form of energy and love.
Good luck trying to embody it.
Just remember this. All writers bring themselves and their beliefs to whatever they write, even if they are trying to be exploring something else. So you will will have your beliefs put in there.
I've always put it as we all have a worldview, and you can't escape that. Your worldview is going to come through when you're writing. It's just like Tolkien did not expressly write his Catholicism into his opus. He wasn't sitting here preaching on behalf of Catholicism. But when you start looking under the hood, you can see his worldview. You can see it there. It resonates with you.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was trying to go for, because I'm like, I don't want to insert my ideologies. I don't want to start a debate on any kind of religion or anything like that. But at the same time, the magic system itself, when I wrote it, is based because there's this little sequence where one of the characters is trying to teach the other one how to use his magic. He goes, you got to go deeper than light. You got to go past the purest form. And when I was done describing it, I'm like, holy crap! I still ended up putting something in there.
Yeah,
it's great when that happened.
It wasn't intentional, but as I was reading
anyone
through
over
it,
the head with it.
Yeah, as I was reading through it, I'm like, it's still a light greater than the brightness sun, and it's still an unconditional love, which it was Trippy Soul who's like, you should just write unconditional love, because I was trying to describe what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
but
that's
then when I was reading it after I wrote it, I'm like, this kind of sinks my ideologies into it, and that was not what I was trying to do.
Yeah, but I think the difference you were incorporating it into the story so that it's organic to the world. You're not shoehorning it in, and you're not sitting. Hopefully, you're not sitting here and having a character expound for 3 chapters on your worldview.
No. Right. I had no intention, because I'm always afraid to approach religion. It's just not who I am. Because, face it, there are 2 things that will cause a fight faster than anything: politics and religion. So I try really hard not to approach those, and I still somehow manage to...
Things. There are 3 things: religion, politics, and Ghostbusters.
I'll start that one.
Well, we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes, but before we do, there is something Stormcrow would like to share with everybody.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Stormcrow, do you see the option
to share your screen?
Where?
Wait, hold on. Are you
Bottom
on
right,
a computer or
on his
phone?
phone.
Your cam settings. There's a thing called present. Click it.
He's on his phone, I think.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, if you're
send it and guild it, and then he can pull it up on the.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
weekly
if I have a whole bunch of stuff set up, but if I go back to Gilded, I have to shut it all down and move it over.
You know what? I can do this. Hold up.
Yeah, you can share
hold
it.
up. You don't have
I
to.
have everybody's shills lined up and the thing already set, but I have to turn it off.
yeah.
I'm going to switch over to Gilded.
All right, hold up.
And by the way, guys, that was very beautiful. That's a lot of my fears when I want to do my stuff. I'm not smart enough to even do half the things you do, but I'm smart enough to make a character like him.
There you go.
Gentlemen and ladies, I present to you Johnny C. Lately. He is a cyborg man that does dirty deeds done dirt cheap, and he's on a mission. He is trying to
commission this. Did you commission for this?
Creative Welshman.
There you go.
Wonderful man.
Hey, do we have a link to him?
Good stuff.
He's ungilded. You can look him up.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I wanted to drop a link in the chat for anybody who wants to look him up.
I don't.
Here's a little key advice for you guys in the Gilded. You all have profiles in there, and you do nothing with your profiles. The least you could do is like put a link to your works right there in your profile. So when I click on your name and I click profile, I go to your Substack, go to your website, go to your works. Right away.
Black Knight is really good at that.
My profile is just a rabbit hole. If you click on my profile, you're gonna be like, "What the hell, Trippy?"
Mine, I believe, leads at least to my blog. So.
There you go. Yeah, it's a nice little thing you should guys do in your profiles. Just keep us all collaborating faster. Don't have to go search for stuff. It's right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you want to get a hold of me, you're going to have to go through MD's links because I have no social media presence.
We share.
All we gotta do is poke MD and go, "Hey, MD, poke Bambo."
See, I'm married to him. If I just said that
I say yes, dear.
Poke the bear to get Bambo.
Thank you, Readout. The link to Creative Welshman's YouTube channel is now in the chat.
There you go.
You know what's funny? That was the only good thing in Wish.
What's that?
The movie Wish, terrible movie. I'm not even sure how the bad guy started out as the bad guy. But anyway, there's this one part, they're all singing, forest friends, whatnot, right? At the end of the song, the deer stands up on his hind legs and says, "Thanks for not eating me, Little John." And Little John smiles and goes, "It's okay, Bambi."
I guess they wanted the whole movie to be sprinkled with things like that because wasn't it originally intended to be a celebration of all the past animated features? Or?
It was, but it was done so poorly.
It was done.
No, horrible.
There's a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, that just don't even start Wish unless you want to start pulling up some of the critics and the backstory or the behind the scenes backstabbing that went along. That stuff's already leaked out and it's horrifying. So
hold up. Did y'all ever see that the weird gay people who made like a sing-along song? Like it was 80 of them.
There's two teaspoons we got to show first.
And 20 of them turned out to be
plugs.
Turned out to be on a certain
We're
list.
on parting plugs now. The show's over.
That was
the music's playing
with it. So I have that shop. I can't talk.
Ooh.
I have that link in the parting plugs lineup, so that will be going up there.
Right.
Speaking of,
I
read
love
out
how articulate I am.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Chilling? We're not chilling. We're talking. We're jumping. What?
We're not chilling.
We're going to be chilling shortly. We're kind of in between finishing up and chilling.
Is this purgatory? I don't like
I guess so. This is where I hang out. Read out. Welcome to my life.
We're into shelling now.
Ultimate Kahuna says, "Hey y'all, good night everybody. Great discussion. Love you all. Also, I will release a short video talking about a prime example of someone the IronAge needs to draw inspiration from."
Ooh.
Sounds like Black Knight. Now, there are many other people here besides Black Knight, but He's got
He's
such
trying.
a wide library already. It's amazing, and
I spoke to him. He's going back and re-editing his books and re-releasing them with bigger font and stuff. He is listening to everybody's reviews, and
he
he's
said
going
he
back
wanted
and
to
trying
remaster them.
change them. Yep.
I love
Because
that,
now
man, so
he's much better with the English language than he was at the time he wrote those. So he wants to remaster. Was it at least the first 2 or 3?
He's trying to make the font bigger, the paragraphs a little bit. Granted, I know why he did it in the first place. But yeah, he's going back and he sent me 3 of the ones he's already remastered the PDFs of, and he'll be releasing them soon.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's such a great guy because he goes around the Gilded and keeps. Oh wow! Hey, Raven.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
get out of here.
But he goes around and he helps a lot of people in the Gilded. I mean, as busy as he is, he still makes time for everybody else. The guy is amazing.
Thanks for saying so. I got home a bit ago and I completely forgot about stuff and I was getting ready to pass out. So, and then I saw notices about last couple of minutes and I was like, oh crap, okay, I need to hook up and drop in and say hi.
Awesome.
Cool.
Glad you still made it in.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything to shill?
No, not actually tonight. I ended up helping a friend buy a used car this afternoon, and that's why I'm getting home so late.
Hey, you're all settled in from the move at least?
And decently. I still haven't found my microphone. I stole my headset from work again.
Yeah, we could tell. We can hear you nice and clear.
Hey, Tim Allen, and hey, Guilty. But yeah, I'm still haven't found all of my stuff. I'm still digging through things, trying to get work through a bunch of stuff. The house is a lot smaller than the previous one, and apparently we had a lot more stuff than we even thought we had. So it's been tight. We're working through stuff, and yeah, tonight was just a mess.
Understood. Well, good to see you pop on. Sounds like you're in good spirits, and hopefully the whole stressful aspect of the thing is almost behind you finally. Because you've been struggling with this for almost a year now, haven't you?
Yeah, so it's part of it's the bubble. We are still in the bubble, and from some of the people that have been watching this that know a lot more than I do, this started like back in 2019 or even before then, and it's just been growing and growing and growing, and we're only beginning to feel the effects, like the beginning. Well, no, I shouldn't say beginning to feel the effects, because we had toilet paper missing in 2020, and now it's 2023, and we're still having issues and stuff, and it's just like it's one thing here, it's one thing there, but all of this is all part of the same puzzle. It's just falling apart at different places at different times, and I'm trying to make sure that I've got everything lined up, because I know at some point we're going to be coming out of this, and I want to be lined up to be coming out of this at a very good spot and point. And so I'm trying to be a lot more busy here, trying to get things lined up so that I can get rid of the credit problems and stuff, get some fresh cash and stuff ready to go in the future and stuff. But yeah,
got them gold back stashed and ready to go.
Yeah, working on that too.
All right, Stormcrow, anything you want to show before we call it a night?
Well, fact is, it was a complete honor to meet you guys, Mrs. Rambo, for starters, and well, I can't say anything else, but I'm shilling you guys. I want you guys to be shilled, and Merry Christmas.
So shilled.
I'm overwhelmed, man. The entire last paragraph we had there was beautiful. I got nothing much to add.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and making a great conversation around Lord of the Rings tonight.
Always. We'll always do that.
All right. Read out.
So, if you want to, I was going to say more polished version of my rant, but I don't know if it's necessarily polished. But if you want a written version of my rant, you can head over to my Substack, which, yes, that does exist. I've only done 2 things with it in 1 year. One of them occurred today. So if you want to go more detail about my thoughts of the atrocity that the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who committed in storytelling, you can go read that on Substack. But I also have a YouTube channel. I live, explore, and preserve history one step at a time for each video I make. So yeah, head over to that. Head over to both of them, actually.
And his other channel where he does an audiobook of the greatest story ever told, My Immortal.
I've heard talking about the John Brown Isekai. I've actually done both of them. And we will be having a discussion of the Hunger Games series. The first discussion will be out. I'm going to try to actually get out Wednesday this week. So keep your eyes out, Billy. Keep your eyes out, Billy.
What? All right. MD Boncher.
Well, I sent you the link there, and otherwise,
unfortunately, Amazon's conked out on mine, so I had to go to an alternate link. But there it is.
That's all right. That'll work. I'm also available, but otherwise, The Waking Nightmare is released. It is on sale with all the rest of the ebooks from all the rest of the Dream Nebula is on sale for ebooks for $1.99. It's going to be available that way till Friday for sure. We'll see if it lasts till Sunday. So get it now if you're going to want to get a deal on it. Otherwise, I think the next thing we're going to do is we decided what the hey, and we're going to be at this little local holiday market nearby in Lewisburg, West Virginia. So there we'll have our books on sale. So if somebody can make it there, they can go ahead and get an autographed copy. And also you got Bambo's Crafts as well there. So, and then some of her parents' wooden toys. It's like Santa's Workshop across the road from us. So
nice.
Yeah. So come on by if you can make it to that area. I know there's a couple people out there that are. Otherwise, just take a look, see if this is your speed for pulp and the new neo-idealistic view or a movement in literature. A return to the old to find what is eternal.
Fun. We need fun.
And lots of fun.
By the way, the Amazon link is in the description along with the link to Readout's channels. So, yeah, I always have your link is you almost always in the description during the live show now.
Marvelous. Thank you.
Okay, Maji.
Hey. So, first things first, check out. Oh yeah, this one. I was gonna do the other one.
Which, by the way, I need to drop that link in the chat because it is not in the description.
So, okay, guys. This is Black Knight's Substack. He showed it to us once before, but I thought I'd show it again. He's actually got some cool stuff. Even a couple of really cool decals. If you can't afford like the t-shirts and stuff, don't worry about it. But I just thought I'd show it and see if we could at least get a sticker or two sold, because where he's at, one of those stickers can go a long way at his part of the world.
Oh crap, I'm getting an awesome coffee mug.
But yeah, so check out his Substack. No, he did not ask me to say any of this. This is just me being me. But yeah.
He doesn't want you to say the line of coexist with your enslaver. Not.
And then this is the one I started to show. This is IronAge.media. Richard always has some new prompts. In fact, he released one just a couple of days ago.
Cool.
But
it's every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, yep. Feel free to check out the prompts. If you feel inspired, go ahead, write it, submit it. Richard will have it featured and to be voted on. But there's also new articles, updates on his magazines, as well as I believe now he's got his link to his shop up and running on IronAge.
Oh, nice.
I was looking at the First Strike CD. It was on the main page, so I think he's finally got the link up to his shop, his personal shop, as well as to fund my comic.
Excellent.
Oh, nice.
All right. Bambo, I was going to assume that your shill is probably the same as MD's, but anything else you want to throw in the mix?
No, just kind of shilling for this upcoming year. We're hoping to maybe move into audiobooks this year. We can pull it out. And I have told MD he will be finishing the Kinawazi Saga trilogy here this year. If I have to misery his butt. So I'm going to chill for the things coming up this year. Keep a lookout for it.
All right. Excellent. Trippy.
You know where to find me. I'm always on the Gilded or trippysoul.substack.com, where you can read a nice little collection of some trippy poetry. And I am currently working on another one and should have it up on Friday. I'm just going to play around with that metering. You know me. I like to play with meters.
I first thought that bar was a carousel.
I actually like the way that image came out.
It's a Cara bar.
Bar in heaven.
Not miters?
Hang on.
What are you looking at?
I lost the tab. I lost the tab. Very important tab.
Only Gremlins.
I did. I'm trying to find where did you post that? Where did you give me that link from? I had it set up and now I lost it.
It's in the private chat of on StreamYards.
StreamYards private? Okay.
I'm scared.
It exists. It's real.
Well,
I'm
found it.
Don't blame me. RH Snow pressured me into it.
There it is.
It exists. It's real. A year in, it's real.
all right.
If you go to the notes section, there's a word of truth in there.
This is too much degeneracy for me. I will leave.
You have no room to talk, Stormcrow.
This is
Yes,
what breaks
I do.
you.
He's got class.
Hang on.
Stormcrow's got class.
Where's that subscription button? Boom.
Yep, right there. Subscribe to that.
Ew.
See, I already subscribed.
Go subscribe to only.
I give him $80 a year. Yes.
You really should.
I'm broke, dude. Sorry.
All of you.
Yeah,
good
he's
night.
got a
Stay
second
safe.
book
Okay.
coming out.
Alright.
There's no money.
Yeah, I still
Good
got
night,
to be the
Wrangler.
cover artist.
Wrangler.
Who did
Huh?
you get
Good
for
night.
your cover artist?
Oh, you taking off?
Crow. See ya, Crow.
Yeah,
Have a great
Later,
night,
Crow.
Crow. Thanks for
Good night,
coming
Crow.
on, man.
of course. You guys have a good night.
Wrangler, who'd you
Meter
find for your
maze.
cover artist?
Meter maid.
What's that?
Who's your cover artist this round?
Well, I'm going to be contacting the same guy that did the first cover.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing. Now that my manuscript is done and ready to go for print, I just need that cover. I got to get the blurb ready. But it's going to be a matter of who knows. It might be a month before he's even able to get to it. So we will see. But once I get the cover, then I can throw it up on Amazon, shadow drop that thing, and then point it out at some point.
No. Don't shadow drop it. Actually, have the release date set in stone.
I don't do the pomp and
Offer
circumstance.
people
I figure it's
everything.
just once I tell people it's out there, if it's already up there, it makes it better.
No. Build up some hype.
Yeah,
Talk
build up the
about
hype.
it before we get it for the release date. Then
Yeah,
people,
build the hype. Build the hype. Don't just shadow drop.
Always with the hype.
Then that way you
about
could get people getting your first book so that they know what the second book's about.
I'm on a hype train.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. But if you're listening, you
showing
hear
it.
that tune playing in the background. That is the tune of Chill Kid, and Chill Kid also has a
got
merch
merch,
shop.
too.
Or you can, he's got a merch shop where
yeah.
you can get the Chill Kid
He got
T-shirts,
a
mugs,
really
and
cool
apparel.
sports cow. Someone should go buy that.
But better yet, go to the music that started it all. Chill Kid is on Bandcamp. That
awesome.
link is also in the description. Also up there is Some Dumb Redneck put up a merch store too. It was Frequency Studios merch. It's available now, folks. You can get the sweatshirts, the mugs, and all things Haley. Hopefully in the next month or two, we will have depictions of Elizabeth up here, and a little bit later, followed by Sabrina.
Are you supposed to be showing your store? Your store's not up.
What's that?
Are you supposed to be showing your store on screen? It still says Chill Kid.
Chill Kid.
Oh, well, maybe it helps if I do that.
There you go.
Maybe.
There.
Nice.
That looks like Haley's store. And
That big red button, it's hard to see, I know.
Well, I got like 20 tabs across the top of my screen.
I can only imagine, dude.
I've been there, man.
Someday I'm going to have
That's why I
a
don't
dual
do that
screen
stuff.
set up, and I'm going to feel like I'm cheating.
All right.
A dual screen and a mouse.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I'm in the high life.
Well, yeah. Well, after what's been a year now of
Any
doing
bug?
this show from a laptop with a little touchpad.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also this. You might want to take a look at that. I think it's fun. Yep, Haley Starbag Kitty. Good fun time. And yeah, so sequel is coming soon. I'm hoping to have it out by February.
Sweet.
All
Ooh,
right.
Are you going to be
anything else?
competing with Yaira?
I don't know if I'll exactly be competing. There's completely different leagues. I'm just there. But eventually, after they're done checking out Yaira, they'll go, hey, we need another blonde chick to go see do superpowered stuff. And they'll go, hey, Haley!
There you go.
Hey, I did in Reese fetch. You can tell what I was doing today. In Reese's Gilded, I did suggest Haley versus Acromano Chronicles, since you got Haley and her friend, and then Blue and Kid.
Yeah. Well, now that you've seen the end of the second book, how does Elizabeth and Boris having a skirmish sound?
Might be interesting. Or I was thinking, once Elizabeth gets a little older, her and Paladin from McCoppin, they're both Oh.
They wouldn't fight each other. They would train and spar together, but I doubt they'd fight. They're on the same team.
But the verses, they're supposed to face each other.
They'll tag team against another team.
Ooh, tag team versus? Ooh, now we're stepping it up. That versus idea was a really good idea. It was fun.
Well, speaking of which, somewhere on the channel, I do have a quick little video of Theo Animath versus Hal Cedric. My take on who I think would win that. You can go check that out. It's like a 1.5 minute video, I think. Because that actually didn't come from a Wing It. That came from a writer's. No, that was we were covering a Nintendo Direct that day when we got into that conversation. You were there, Maji.
Oh,
I
and
think
we went over
you were
the
there.
spring preview for the year.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It was you, me, and Evely.
Yeah, we were excited for Super Mario.
and then we ran around, made fools of ourselves live with that game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then we got our butts kicked in Mario Kart after that game. I still can't believe both Sonnet and Josh tied for first place. Those two are like unbelievable. Alrighty.
Put the logo up. Put the logo.
The logo?
Up. Yeah,
You know, I think that's
logo.
a damn good idea. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like, and if you didn't, appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless.
See you guys.
Kaplow, kaplow, kaplow,
See ya,
kaplow.
and good night.
The logo's the only way to stop going down the rabbit hole.
We stop.
Who does the logo?
Well, no.
Let's remind the people who made this logo.
Oh, yes.
James Esparza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was in the chat today for a minute.
Yes, he was.
No, you, no.
Have a great night, everybody.
No, no.